very quick recap. You guys got the hell out of the Corrigan Forest. You had Zecca, make some collect calls on Naz, and it got him blocked. Eventually, you guys did get into Cathartas and kind of began to pursue leads. You met Morak's mother. You met his butler, kind of explored around a bit of like the royal grounds, and headed towards Ernest, where you spoke with him about the experiment that altered Zecca, and ended the session with something strange happening to Milos. Am I missing any important beats there?
I technically had Ode leave the group. Do you want me to just say Ode's like in the building as well? So we're not missing like 1/4 of the people.
Ode shows back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ode can 100% be there because I think you just left because Rocket was there. So
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, Ode can do stuff in the city, and I didn't realize it would be like a actual scene.
all right. Ode returns, having forgotten her wallet and realizing what the fuck is happening.
Cool.
Hey, Morik, I have no money.
Hey, Ode isn't Mary.
Yes.
But also one quick retcon, because I realized Gabrielle has no reason to be staying in a one studio apartment with Ernest and Joro, so she's one apartment over with her dad. I don't know why I made that call in the moment. It's real weird if you give it 10 seconds of thought.
Also, it's like Morak's family has enough dough that they didn't need to be like, well, we can only afford one studio apartment for these 4 people. It's probably a very nice studio.
I mean, they can afford it. That doesn't mean they're willing to spend the money for it.
That's true. Well, Morak asked them to.
Yeah, and they. Oh yeah, let's splurge on 3 humans and an elf. No, we'll put them in the fucking booted shack. As far as this studio apartment is to the Tuskbanes, basically a janitor's closet. It is 800 square feet.
that would be a solid
It's
apartment
basically
in
your
Philly.
shoe closet. You know, a 1,200 square foot 2-bedroom apartment.
Exactly. But do we want to open up with any fun facts?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing it. Does
What-
anyone have a theme in mind, or should I try to figure something out?
I'm enjoying some delightful hot tea here, and it has me wondering, what are each of our characters' favorite beverages?
Oh. Well, what's Artuk's favorite beverage?
Artuk totally just does like kombucha style, like mushroomy teas.
Ooh.
Oh,
that's
that's
very
on
good.
brand.
Yeah, Artuk drinks kombucha.
Okay.
I'm currently drinking kombucha.
I love a kombucha.
Explains the confusion all
No,
the time.
no, he's Zecca. Come on, David.
I'll go next.
You gotta tell us what Sunny. You had to tell us what the other 3 characters that aren't here.
Well,
Sunny-
okay, Sunny's obvious.
Yeah.
Sunny, no, not anymore.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
He's still Sunny
Right.
is still trying to power through oil. It's not working as well anymore, but he'll be damned if he's giving it up.
No, he's drinking olive oil now.
Oh my god.
What's that gross new thing at Starbucks where they just add olive oil to a latte?
Oh
That's
my
what he's
God.
drinking.
That's heinous that you just said that.
It's
Had
true.
It's true.
I had a
Yeah, that's
coworker
heinous
who
that
would
they're
make
doing
his
it then.
I had a coworker who would make his coffee every morning with a full stick of butter in it.
Fuck is wrong
That's
with
Ode's
people?
favorite drink.
Yak butter tea.
Yeah, no, yak butter coffee.
Yak butter coffee.
She likes to
Oh,
get the
is 100%
zoom.
a coffee person, yeah.
What's the feline agility? It's just Ode getting the zoomies from her coffee.
Mark, you got one, or you want me to go?
Morak likes a nice white wine.
Oh, but like a
feel
really fancy
Like
white
a
wine.
fancy white
Oh,
wine.
you know what? Morak is probably one of those people who like if he's told like this is a cheap white wine, he'll be like, I'm not a fan.
Yes.
But if he's told it's expensive white wine and it's like the exact same taste, he'll be like, yeah, I like that.
Morak likes an expensive white wine.
Yeah.
Sweet
Yeah.
or dry?
But,
What's his
but he
preference?
acts like he pretends to like dry wines, where in reality he likes it sweet.
Gotcha.
But
So
he
he's like
wants to.
he wants
He doesn't want people to know that he likes sweet drinks.
he wants to pay too much for a Pinot Gris.
Yeah.
A really good way to put it. On the other end of the spectrum, you have Morek's mother, whose favorite drink is a very cheap lemon Moscato. It's a very weird drink, and it's only made in the city. It is not very good, but she adores it.
It's like comes in a box.
She basically has a wine box.
You
Will,
also have to give us Byron and Kezia's.
Or
too.
not.
Byron, we all know, is going to be some version of gin, so we'll move on. Kezia, obvious. Come on, guys. She
Pickle
drinks
brine.
pickle juice. Yeah, she drinks
Yeah.
pickle brine.
She likes picklebacks.
Oh my god. It's a tie between that and that one pickled cocktail you got the other week, Will.
Say that. Sorry, I couldn't hear you over. What did you say?
There was no background there, so okay. But it's a mix between pickle juice, or a split between pickle juice or that pickle cocktail you got the other week.
Oh my fucking god, the Bloody Mary. That was the most absurd cocktail I've ever had in my life. There was it was wrapped, so there were pickle wheels wrapped in cream cheese and parma ham. Then there was a big ass pickle in it. There was also a whiskey on the side. Then there was also 2 fucking wings on it, and then a like kebab of fried pickles. Like it,
That sounds
literally the
amazing.
drink
I want that
alone.
so much.
This is 100% Kezia's favorite.
Hey, by
That
the way,
fucking
Eric's
drink.
eating roasted peanuts now, so please tell us if this is an auditory nightmare.
Let's find out.
It isn't. It's just a hey, keep that away from the microphone. You're gonna give me a reaction, man. That's not fair.
But Rocket wants peanuts.
He does. He's allowed to eat them too, but only one because they're very salty.
Then Will, I think you are the only one left up to bat.
Shirley Temple. We established this at
A
Applebee's.
virgin Shirley Temple.
What? That's
That's the point of the joke. That's the point of the joke, Will.
that's why I stopped myself. Yeah, I like the virgin version, the the dirty Shirley.
One second.
I'm more of a Roy Rogers guy myself.
I'm more of a Roy Richardson guy myself.
Rory Richardson.
Rory
Richardson. David, you should bleep out that name so we don't have people's full names in the.
All right, though. We pick up in Ernalis's court-provided studio apartment. You guys see at the center of this ritual, of this ritual circle, which Zecca was just booted from by Milos. This very can you guys see it on your screens?
The
Oh my
Milos?
god,
Yeah, the weird motherfucker.
guys, we don't have to.
Milos question mark.
What was that?
How tall is Milos question mark?
About 3 feet tall.
Okay.
Bigger than I
Why
expected.
is he wearing a corset?
Why the fuck do you think it's fashionable?
You'd have to ask them.
Yeah,
Oh.
hey, why don't you ask? Anyway, Zecca, first on deck. You see this thing just kind of with its weird like silver-looking eyes, just kind of look around at the whole group and then just kind of start staring at Zecca.
Didn't it say something? It was like, I'm sorry we have to meet like this or something?
It was something to that effect. I think the wording was didn't plan for you to find out this way, something like that.
Yeah. Bless you.
Thank you. Okay, so we're in it. It's happening.
Yes, sir. I have my notes now. My fuck.
Morak grabs his sword from his back and unsheaths it just a little bit so you can quick draw it.
You see this creature kind of begins to, as you seeing that, immediately begins to back away, but then it seems like hits an immediate, like, invisible wall. Like, as it reaches the edge of the, circle around it.
Whoa!
Go ahead, Zecca, and make a Arcana check for me.
Hang on, I forgot to pull up my fucking character sheet. 1 second.
You're good. Mark, you can make one as well, but actually just make one as well. Arcana.
Arcana, you said?
Yes, for both of you.
Just normal.
Yeah, just straight Arcana.
It's not bad. 14.
Second. Forgot to grab my dice.
Ooh, nat 20.
Okay.
God damn. And that was the first roll.
Oh. You're on dark mode.
Yeah. Zecca, you're kind of caught off guard by this whole situation, quite reasonably. So you're like just kind of fixated on what the fuck. Morik, as you kind of pull your blade out, it obviously is taking a note from you, and it backs away into it, and it just kind of collides, and you're like, what the fuck? And you look down at the runes. Wherever this invisible wall begins, it is right along the edge of that circle that Ernest carved. So you think whatever it is that's keeping him there is this ritual. I don't know if Eric knows what the spell magic circle is, but Morak certainly does.
Morak definitely does.
If you want to pull it up, you're allowed to. Go ahead. If you don't want to, it's basically keeping him there.
I kind of guessed that one. I'll continue eating peanuts instead of reading.
Got it.
Morak makes this known to the group.
Got it.
Wait, sorry, you cut out for a second there.
It's a magic circle.
Morak.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's a magic circle.
I can cast that spell, David, so I feel like I would, like...
What's going on?
Recognize that.
Which is that?
Off guard by the immediate situation. But Morak informs the group thusly anyway.
Okay.
And Ode is confused as to why we care that it's a magic circle, and I asked Ernest what it was. What is that?
You just see Ernest just gesturing.
Ode looks to Zecca. Zecca, do you know what that is? I'm just doing British. I don't even know. It's been a while ago.
Drop me here, boy, governor.
What's this then? What's all this then?
Mary, God bless us, everyone.
Peter, what's this here?
Well, Morak just said that it's a magic circle.
No, I mean the creature.
I just talking about whatever
Milosh, everyone's favorite. He starts doing finger guns.
Can I do some sort of check to figure out what he is?
I suppose that would be...
Would it be nature? Would it be... Well, if he's from a different plane, that might be Arcana.
Hold on, let me pull up a character sheet. I forget what all the different checks are.
Arcana is like different planes of existence and like different creatures in addition to the other stuff. But if he's Fey, you could make an argument for nature, huh?
I'm going to call it nature.
All right, I'm less good at those. 13. Artuk.
It's a strange-looking creature.
And is it talking to us with its mouth or telepathically?
Ode, there you go. There's some bonus points because you guys suddenly realize you're just hearing it, and if you look closely, this thing has no mouth on it to speak of. If you actually zoom in on it, it is just a sheer. There is not even an impression there, which means it did just say. In your guys' minds, you heard Milosh, and then...
Okay. Well, I don't know what it is. It's a... Hey, Milosh, what are you? Friend? You're still, like, my best friend, right? Like, or one of them.
We're buddies. This is gonna be alright. He's fucking speaking telepathically and just to the wider group, just for that. Of course, we're buddies. Hmm. So, what is the best way to phrase this?
Seems like you had some time to think about it, and you didn't really.
He looks at Ode directly. I cannot tell you how many times I've tried to come up with an answer to this. It does not look good no matter what, Ode.
Oh God, are you evil?
What? No. Oh, just because I'm a fae, I'm supposed to be evil.
You
know
just said
what?
no matter what way you phrase it, it's bad.
Well, that's because it isn't. Good. Hi. My name is
Jesus.
Milosh. Zecca, you've known me for a while, but you've not known me like this. I am... Oh... I guess you could call me a shifter, shape changer, something of a doppelganger.
A doppelganger.
Yes, well, and you see he just kind of traces like almost like a smiley face where over his mouth, and you see like a physical mouth actually like appear. Form is very fluid for us Fae, myself in particular, and then he just kind of peels it off like out of a cartoon and just puts it and just kind of
Wow.
slaps it on his arm and,
That was
and
cool.
raises it up, and you just see it like begins to talk out of there.
Oh,
I've
That-
been this. Yeah, it does not look pleasant.
Wait.
Morak with the only reasonable response.
Wait, so were you always, like, even when you were the black sheep back at the farm?
So you see why it's not a great look for me. Yes, so I've always been this way, Zecca. At least some version of this. This is not good. Not good at all. So as a long story short, my job has been to keep an eye on you, and I have not been doing a good job.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, you've been around him. We've this when we've changed.
yeah, like all the time.
He winks.
Wait,
No, this
so-
isn't okay. You can't just make a joke about this.
Wait,
Okay,
so-
we can move on.
So hang on, Milo. So why were you keeping an eye on? Okay, I feel like it makes sense that after I got transformed and I became touched by Fae, which that sounds weird now.
Yeah,
But
what did analysts do to you?
all right, let's move on. So even before that, were you watching me?
Yeah.
Why?
You weren't Fey touched after he did his thing. You were always Fey touched.
What?
Is it warm in here? Hey, would anyone like me to like to break this magic circle and just let me just step out and get some air real quick?
No.
Ew.
No? Okay, hold on. That's 2 votes for no. How about the rest of you?
I mean, yeah, I'm fine with it. I don't care.
All right, that's
No.
1 for yes. Ernest just shakes his head no.
Maybe okay to assuage the tension in the room. Maybe you could explain yourself, and then we'll let you out. How's that sound?
1 moment. Let me pull up the relevant note in my little notebook. Hold
I
on.
think we could just have a bit of an exposition dump. Actually, I think that would do us all some good.
Yeah, here, let's all sit down. You can explain what happened, and
We'll do crisscross applesauce, except
Anyone need
Zecca,
tea?
obviously,
Tea.
for physical limitations.
I'll take
Yeah.
some tea.
Milos goes to reach for it. His hand hits the wall. Bullshit. Zecca, this is gonna get me in so much trouble. You've always been Fey touched because you've always had a little bit of Fey in you from the day you were born, and all of this wasn't supposed to happen. Let me start at the beginning. Has anyone had the talk with you, Zecca? Anyone?
I don't think so.
What?
Okay.
Well,
Really
looks at like
unweighted.
all the men in the room. I just assumed someone handled that.
You know, it never really came up, I'll be honest. I didn't think while we were being chased down by demons and gods, like, oh, I should teach Zecca about the birds and the killer bees.
Well, Zecca,
But the Fey birds and the killer bees.
The favorite. The griffins and the bees.
And the gargoyles.
when your mother and a Fae love each other on a one-sided relationship very much, then suddenly we get what's called a Zecca.
Are
Zec-
you Zecca's dad?
You're Zecca's
No. Whoa. No, I work for him, kind of.
What? Wait.
business.
But wait, so like, you work for my dad? Like, I don't like him very much.
Oh no. Your real dad. Your real one. The one
What?
the one that abandoned you, not the one that abused you.
Abandoned what?
This
I don't know which one's worse.
Well, one
The
hired a nurse to look after him.
So
So they kind of like half abandoned me, I guess.
Yeah.
Zecca, when you were born, your mother had a choice. She could either come into the Feywild forever and live with your father, or leave with you, or leave with you forever. I think the exact words your mother used were, "The Feywild is not a great place to raise a child." Owing a lot to the amount of strange deals, magics, things like that.
Dark death and destruction over in the Feywild.
The general presence of Fae.
I feel like
they also like to kidnap
I believe
babies.
she
It's like a big
described just about it as it's a world populated by toddlers given the power of God. Essentially, id given rule of the place. But yes. So your mother left, and your father, my boss, altered her memory so that she wouldn't remember him, and well, having a half satyr, half human running around isn't exactly the most easy thing for his mother. So he put a bit of a charm, bind on you to just kind of let that human half take over.
Wait a minute.
We're going really, really well. Had no idea of it at all, and he just turns very mechanically over to Ernest, and somehow you found the one wizard within miles that would do anything to mess with the fabric of reality.
Yeah, Zecca, why didn't you befriend the necromancer wizard or the alchemist that lived west of you?
Yeah, wait.
Or the illusionist that lived just to the south? Come on.
How about just don't befriend the strange wizard in the woods? Or even as a point beyond that, Zecca, it would have been really great if, having befriended him, you didn't then get entangled in one of his weird spells and fuck with the sea. And you see him just start going on a rant, and you see him start pulling at his hair.
Wait, so why didn't you, like, Why didn't you like transform out during the ceremony and explain everything to Ernolus and me?
I didn't think he would take it well that a Fae has just been keeping an eye on you for 14 years or so? Furthermore, he was a bit busy getting chased by a mob, and you were unconscious and looking like yourself right now. Now, luckily, I had the
I'm-
foresight to look like a sheep at the time, and and you see just a look of just pride beaming off his face. And I realized that if I just made myself look like a wisp and let your mind connect a few dots between there, you would think sheep.
Wait a minute.
Easy.
Are you telling me? Am I actually half goat?
Half satyr, but
Fuck. I'm the asshole now. I've been correcting so many people saying I'm fucking half sheep, but I've been fucking half satyr this whole time. Are you fucking kidding me?
It's fine. Because, we can now that we're here, we can get you back to looking like a human. And I can make sure my boss does not get on my ass for letting this
Well,
all go this.
Wait, hold on.
When Zecca said, "Why didn't you transform back?" a second ago, Ode leans over to Morak and Artuk and kind of loudly whispers, "He definitely got too lazy as a sheep, huh?"
Inspiration.
Okay, hang on. So you're telling me that my true form is this?
Mostly. There's still little bits of you that are sealed back by magic that have been sort of breaking through as your true Fey nature tries to manifest. You might notice, well, he looks at Morak and looks back at you. It's a little odd how well you've picked up magic, huh? Like, you did study for a bit, but, it's most people don't just pick it up that fast. Like, looks over at gestures at Byron. He had to make a deal with a primordial god. Gestures to Artuk. He had to be cursed to rot. Gestures to Morik. He's studying.
He read a lot of books.
So, yes. So that is a bit
He's
of
still really bad at it.
You see Morax like whole world just be like, I was reading the whole time.
Okay,
My
well,
theories were correct.
can I meet my dad? I kind of want to meet him now, because my dad's an asshole.
Wait, no. One thing first. Milos. Is
Yes.
that your name?
My true Fey name is Contemplest Miloshan Saventsava.
Oh wow, that's pretty
I
lucky
didn't hear-
that Milos was in there, wasn't it?
He's
I
communicating
abbreviated
this
it on
telepathically
purpose.
right now.
I'm sorry.
Ooh, that's
Milos.
cool. Second
I'm not
question.
repeating
Did
it.
Hey, can we talk one at a time, please?
Milos, just for curiosity's sake, when Ernest was deciding to do an experiment, you just went along and were like,
He got really lazy as a sheep. Don't make him say it twice.
okay.
Also,
If I was fed like grass and pets for years and years, I'm like, I wouldn't mess with that situation.
okay, I
Well,
also
didn't you sedate Milos first so that he wouldn't feel any pain or get scared?
Milos just got drunk. Unrelated.
I do want to I was just gonna slip out of that at the last minute
Zecca's
and,
dad
let it be-
assumed-
and just turn into a different sheep. So
Wait, can I jump in?
yes.
Zecca's dad always was mad at Zecca because he assumed that his 10-year-old son was stealing his liquor, but actually it was Milos sneaking in to steal the liquor.
Oh wow.
Canon now, that's absolutely canon.
Holy shit.
I like to get drunk off the shot.
One sec.
Super fey,
While
though.
you guys formulate your
Super
next
fey.
question, I need to look at my notes to make sure I'm not missing anything.
Sorry. I
Okay.
didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, you're good. That was fucking hilarious.
Well, shit. So,
Zecca, how do you feel?
I mean, my whole fucking quest up until this point was to turn back into a human, but it turns out I'm not that.
No, we can still do that. We can get that done. So just in case your real father checks in, I'm not in trouble. We can get that done 100%.
Well, I think I'm pivoting now, and I kind of want to meet my dad.
Wait, no, Zecca, please. I will be in so much trouble.
But you can't just tell me I have a dad.
This
And
is
then
out of character.
Zecca, please, no. I will get in so much trouble. Hold on. Oh my god, give me a second to bring it back in.
Is real David stressed over the fact that I want to meet my
no,
dad?
That's fine. Pivot however you want. That's fine.
Well, I'm sorry,
okay.
Milosh, but I'll put in a good word for you. Like, you still protected me many times. I've cast so many spells through you. Wait, was I not actually casting the spells? Were you just casting those spells?
No, that's all you. Again, you're kind of Fey nature, kind of mixed with your faith. No, that's... Listen.
Wait, okay, hang on. How close am I to my dad in power?
You don't want to know the answer, man.
Oh, because I'm like way stronger than him.
Yeah, man.
David, does an 18 insight tell us if Milosh actually doesn't want Zecca to be his dad because Milosh will be in trouble, or if you don't want Wilson's dad because that would be a whole side quest?
An 18 insight will tell you that David, totally fine with that pivot. Milosh, horrified at the idea. Milosh is horrified at the idea of having the fucking Piper come home for this.
Well, Ode will jump in and she'll say, well, if Zecca wants to meet his dad, then Milosh, I don't really care about whether you did a poor job or not. It should be up to Zecca.
You don't understand. All Fae and are basically sociopaths. I don't stand a chance. Look at him. Think about how he has acted since he has gotten these magical powers. That's just the Fae breaking through. I basically have to go with an accelerated version of that.
Wait, hang on. Is this why, like, my whole life is just making way more sense now, because, like, I really, like, killing people's never really bothered me that much, and it sounds like that's pretty chill with the Fae.
He looks directly at Ode and Morak. You please do not turn me into his dad.
Well, listen, what if you just... I don't know, you can transform, turn into a fucking ant, and then I'll just say you died. And then you can just hide in my pocket while I meet my dad. How can I meet my dad? I want to meet my dad.
I also want Zecca to meet your dad.
I want to meet your dad too.
Because, like, okay, I don't know if you've been paying attention, right? Like, we're trying to, like, kill the fucking brain people who are going to kill everyone. And the way we're gonna do it is we're gonna go to their homeworld, and this guy right here, and I point at Artuk, but I don't realize how close he is, so I accidentally stab him in the side. Oh, sorry, Artuk. This guy right here has the blight, and then we have another friend that for some reason people don't want hanging around, so we kind of like shunted her off to Morak's mom.
Why the hell did she have to say Fey Touch? Why would she give you the fucking tip off? Everything was going so smooth before this.
Well, all I'm saying is, like, we gotta go to them and impart the bloom and blight on them. So my dad's like a super powerful Fae, dude. He could probably help with that, right? Listen, I realize you might get in trouble, but I think that this, like, takes precedence, you know what I mean?
Zecca, if you want to meet your dad, you're allowed to meet your dad Or at least ask him if he wants to meet you. You know, like just because you want to meet him, you don't need an excuse like to save the world or anything.
Thank you, Ode. I appreciate that. I'm my own keeper. I can do whatever I want. Hang on. I'm curious about something.
If they are on a different plane than you, 5% chance it doesn't arrive.
Okay,
Also,
that's not even that bad.
Definition of what who are you familiar with your dad?
Definitely not. Hey, Milos, what's my dad's name?
Absolutely not.
Please.
Well, no,
I
his
mean-
name. Oh, wait, no.
If
That would have been a good Faye joke if his name is absolutely not.
Might as well try that. Fair.
if
I
y'all
mean,
want
it's
me to,
possible that they all Faye.
I could make sure that Milos gets you to talk to your dad despite his wishes.
Oh,
Keep
how so?
that thing away from me, or so help me.
Are you gonna tickle him?
In a mystical sense.
What?
If it would have to be with the consent of everyone here but him, because obviously this is against his consent. But I could just make him bring us there if you want me to.
What?
We keep talking it out a little bit more.
How would you do? How would you do this? I'm open to it.
If there's a way that isn't against his wishes, I'd prefer that. But obviously my allegiances are going to be to you first, always, Zecca. So if it's what you want, I don't care about Milos nearly as much as I care about your wishes here.
Well,
Hey, we've had some good moments, you and I. I've floated around near you. Not
Ooh.
long, admittedly, but come on.
well, I mean, Milos, like you have been there for me, so it's not like I don't. I trust you as a person, but also I mean, it's my fucking dad, man. I gotta meet my dad. I grew up with such a shitty dad and such a wonderful mom. And if you're telling me that there's a father who is more erratic and chaotic than I am and has more powerful spells.
He made your mother forget he existed.
Yes, and that's the kind of chaotic shit I need in my life. I want to meet him.
Milos, okay, so putting aside your concerns for yourself, please, just
Oh,
help
that's
us think through what is the risk to Zecca? Is there a risk of him meeting his dad that his dad would become upset?
At
I don't
me?
know. Okay, but with Zecca.
Oh, well. Damn it, you made me set aside my concerns for myself. He physically moves a part of his arm away. Okay. I mean, Zecca, I gotta be honest. You're just gonna be disappointed.
Oh, is he shitty too?
He's the kind of guy who gives his wife an ultimatum, and then when she doesn't go with him on it, he does wipe her memory that he ever existed.
Yeah, it's not great.
Just throwing that out there. But again, let me just say, we can go back, get you your legs back. We can work on some sort of ritual. You've got all of Cathartas here. You've got presumably resources somewhere. I don't know this city very well. You've got a wizard with a spider arm that caused this in the first place. Sure, he's can help. We can do this. We can just go back, and then we can act like nothing ever happened.
Uh-huh.
Yes. I'm taking that as a yes.
As he's saying that, and I'm saying, I'm drawing the circle out for divination.
That's funny.
I ritually cast divination, David.
Okay. Around the time you do that, actually, probably a minute or so before, you actually see, erupting from the magic circle, ethereal, these, kind of green-colored chains, shoot up from it and wrap around Milos's arms and legs right before, as you see Ernilus quietly in the background has been casting planar binding so this fucker doesn't get away.
That's what I was
hell
gonna
yeah.
do.
Oh, hell yeah.
And you see Ernilus stand up for just a moment.
Mhm.
Zecca,
Yes.
I'm not going to pretend that I am wholly innocent in this. In fact, I'm clearly a very large cause of this whole situation. However, whatever you want to do, if it's meet your father, go back to your legs, I will help you in any way that I can. And I'm not letting this little wispy motherfucker just skedaddle out of here until you specifically say he can leave. He kind of just like lowers himself for a minute. Zecca, I am sorry for the role I played in this. And I want you to hear my promise that until you are at whatever state you want to be, I will do everything I can to help you. And
Well,
I
yeah,
am
go ahead.
sorry. And this motherfucker stays until you say he can go.
Well, I mean, the way I see it, Ernest, you're in the clear. I mean, I thought you did this to me, but all you did was just like reverse the charm that my dad put on me that would have led me to never meeting him. So if anything, like I think you're great. Like I forgive you for what you did. Like you fucking like I realized that you didn't know what was gonna happen, and like in retrospect, like it, it anything could have happened. But like fuck it, like you if anything, you've helped me.
Before we just go down this road, he turns to he turns to Ode, Artuk, and Morg and says, I'm still owning my part of the responsibility. His forgiveness. And he's like looking at you guys, and it's like very clear saying like, I'm not in the clear yet. I understand that, even if he's giving me okay.
I think I can speak for Artuk and Morak when I say Ode gives him a look that says 0% off the hook.
Yep.
He gives him- he
And
gives him-
100% off the hook, buddy.
Morag knowingly agrees with Ode's look.
Okay. Yes, I want to meet my dad. I've just had my whole life thrown into question, and I don't know what I want anymore because now I'm realizing that having toes would be against my nature, and like I kind of don't know what I want anymore, except that I want to meet my fucking dad because that piece of shit has some explaining to do. And I finished.
Actually don't really meet their dads. Do we have multiple dads?
I think Tabaxi traditionally and canonically all have 8 dads.
8 dads. Well, I've never met any of my dads.
Do you have sisters and brothers?
No.
It's like it doesn't even make sense that you would have 8 dads.
I think no one came out of the chat either.
It's
The
like
family tree would just be a triangle that leads down to fucking Ode.
No, what you don't understand is about Taxi. They're ultra fertile. If they ever get pregnant, they have like 400 kids.
Well,
It
cats
balances
can
out
have
to 8 dads
litters
per
that
kid.
have multiple dads. But it's like one cat can't have multiple dads.
I kind of like that, though.
No, they all have multiple
Mom
dads.
has
Bushka loves Carson, speaking of sweet cats.
that's
very
unless
sweet.
you have one kid.
Okay.
Oh, he's a sweet kitty.
Your mom has brother husbands. Is what you're trying to say.
Is that your snowboard
but
over the window?
If it would be important for you to meet your dad, like we're certainly all here for that.
I finished casting divination. I say yes. Well, I appreciate that, Ode. I appreciate that, Ernilus, and I really appreciate the support that you guys are giving me. I'm gonna see if Miss Stara has anything to say about this.
Okay. Could
I
you
finished
my God,
casting
the only planet
divination.
on Stara is Milos.
Okay. I expend 25 gold worth of incense.
You don't need it now that Milos is outed to be a fucking sick son of a bitch. Okay.
And
I'll
I'm
give you a
going.
question.
My single question will be, what is my dad's name?
Ooh, very good.
1 second. I need to look it up. It's a long, overly complicated Fey word, so I need to figure out how I pronounce it.
Supercalifragilistic.
Oh. Eric with an A.
Because with an E is here.
1 second. Okay.
This is cool. This is exciting. I like that we're just abandoning wedding plotline, traveling to the Feywild.
Y'all ain't getting out of shit. Don't you dare. You will drag him to the wedding before you get out of this wedding.
I just opened a beer, and Rocket is sitting next to me like, could I have some, please?
I
found the right page. Okay.
was gonna stall.
Your dad's name, and I'll put this in the chat, is Kalmet Zor Ketel, because it's its dumb Fey name. I will put that in the chat for your clarity later. Actually, I'll do it now because I have it here.
Kalmet Zor Dekel. Dude, I love a show with Keenan.
You're a son of a bitch.
Okay, I feel like I should put that on my fucking character sheet. Dad. That. Alright. Okay.
Zorkatel.
Well, I have his name now.
Yeah.
Milos, if you have anything you want, I'm sending a message. Milos, listen to me, okay? I am sending a message to my father. And I know you didn't want me to do that, but out of respect for how you've protected me over the years, and because I still consider you a very close friend, I want you to tell me if there's anything you want to say. 5 words or less, ideally.
Do we maybe?
Man.
All right.
Okay, hear me out. Do we want to find a way to get Milos off the hook? So, like, we could say, you know,
Yeah, hold on, this guy.
Masara, and I was like, hey, where's my dad at? I want to check on him. And Masara went, the Feywild, and I went, what? So I was able to piece it together, you know.
Oh, wait, I like that.
Yeah, that way, it's like, oh, I figured out that you're my dad through Mistara. That way, Mistara's on the hook and Milos is off.
Oh, that's a good idea.
In your mind, only you hear this of, if this works, I owe you big.
All right, I like this plan. I'm gonna fucking do that.
Well, let's do it in full here. How did his legs get back to normal then? The weave breaking did it?
That would have been before this.
Yeah,
Yes.
we broke 13 years ago.
Yeah, I suppose that wouldn't really make. I mean, but Fey people time's weird for it, right?
I don't think that's how birth works, though.
Oh, Fey people have like no concept of time.
Oh.
Yeah,
You know how we've been traveling for 6 months and it feels like 4 years?
I have.
What if we
Yeah,
just
all Fey.
I specifically am intimately familiar with Fae from growing up where I did, and frankly speaking, you can tell them anything happened whenever, and they'll be like, oh, does that mean that, like, you know, you're related to that person from, like, you know, the ancient, who lived in those ancient ruins? You're like his son, right? He came before you. That's about right.
You guys
time-wise.
get a flashback to Ashira, no, not strictly a Fae, asking, oh yes, the elves that rule Cathartas. Been thousands of years.
I mostly know Faye from the play Midsommar, but it's pretty.
I know them from the play Peter Pan.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty indicative.
Yeah.
You see Milos ever so slightly try to nudge more on his own dominant side, like, that's the one, that's the one.
Okay, I vote. Here's the story, right? Same story. Ernelis transformed me, and Milos, you just never revealed yourself. Let's just say that. And then I divinated to check in on my dad, and I heard the name that was not my dad. And then I talked to Archfey Bloomwalker, and she said, yeah, your dad's a Fey, or you're Fey touched, which means you have Fey blood. And so, after I got his name, I decided to contact him. That's the story. So Milos, you're off the hook.
We'll stick to it when we meet him.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sending a message. Fuck it. I send a message to Kalmat Zorkatel and his brother Keenan Matt Zorkatel. Hey, Dad.
Yo.
If that is your real name. No, I'm joking. Hey, Dad. It's Zecca. I divinated to my god, and she said that you are my dad. Not the asshole
Is that it?
who fake dad. Meet you?
Fire away.
All right.
Fun.
So now I have to roll a D100 to see if it delivers.
I mean,
You see Milos have a sigh of relief of thank God he's an idiot.
you know what? Hold
We're
on.
never gonna meet.
Well,
We're never gonna meet Cal.
I'm gonna roll that.
Oh, okay. So if
Just-
it's a 5 or lower, it doesn't work.
I mean, I'm gonna
My,
roll a d20 instead.
My brother's in
So if it's a 1, it doesn't work.
On your character sheet, it should be something that's like gonna drive you towards something that's bad for you, or like ultimately be the cause of your death. Where Zecca's flaw is absolutely 100% bad at sending messages, and it's the best flaw.
Mm-hmm.
0% chance it was a 1.
Y'all.
No fucking way.
Really?
I'm
Are
gonna
you
send-
fucking serious?
I'll send it on Snap. Oh, this die does not look good with that. Okay.
All right. I wait a bit.
It's fucking
Wait a
funny.
bit. Maybe we could workshop what you're going to say in the time that we're waiting to cast the spell again.
What are you sending it to?
I sent it to Snap. Yeah, straight up a 1.
All right. Seeing as he's not replying, I send another message.
Turns out
Because
you actually.
All right,
had
I
it.
don't know that it does.
One.
I assume that it delivered and he's ignoring me.
Will, you
I
can
say-
roll the d20 this time because that was so fucking worth it.
I say, all right, asshole. You
Alright, Wingard.
fucking ignore me for 14 years, and then when I send you a message, you don't say shit. All right, Kalmet Zorkatel, if I send another message. That is your real name.
I hope so strongly that the first message he rolls a 1, and so Calvin Zerkatel, just with no context, that is your real name.
Let's see what the first one is.
Do you know how much psychological damage you could do to someone if they just got a message that said, if real?
Holy shit, that's like
Whoa!
almost
Barely.
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 Okay, so if that is your real name, I just want to meet my fucking dad, and you left me with an asshole who made me herd sheep. And that's the end of the message.
Let's roll one last d20, see whether the third one got
I
through.
rolled 2 and they're both below, or they're both good.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I see it. It's 12 and 2.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay.
That's so
Okay.
funny.
Like, why
send
the
those
fuck is
over.
he coming at me so hot?
Okay. You sent those Thusly. You guys are all stood in Ernalis's and Joro's one bed, or no, it's a studio apartment. You don't get a response.
Honestly, I appreciate David's queer representation in the campaign.
That's canon.
Yep, it's canon now.
Studio apartment of 2 adult men sharing a bed, and we were like, oh, 2 together.
Just two rows.
It's like the Greek
rows
myth.
in a tough
Good
situation.
friends. Oh yeah, Achilles and Patroclus. Those good buddies.
Those good friends.
They only have one bed and one toothbrush. It's weird.
But yeah, you guys are there. Milos is still bound as he's one to do. Joro is currently on the porch smoking out of a fancy purple hookah, and Ernest is. What are you guys up to? I can describe this all day. You see, the fridge magnets have been arranged into a smiley face, and then a second one that's slightly off from the fridge. No.
I gotta wonder, Ernest, where the heck did you get the gem to be able to cast that shit? That's impressive and expensive. That's the only reason I didn't.
That would be. He just. Hold on. If I'm being honest, I carry a few tools with me in a few different areas. I was not planning on using it today, if I'm being honest, but this seems like a worthy use.
You know, for the time being, Milosh will do anything you say. Milosh? Post Milosh?
Malone.
Oh, that is true, actually.
We currently have Milosh, and then once he leaves the game, it'll be the timestamp will be post Milosh.
Wait a minute, hold on.
You want me to just put
Like,
planar binding in the chat?
Strictly, the combo magic circle plus planar binding is like
It's
the intended use, pretty much.
Yeah, it goes. It's in
I
the.
just didn't realize the second part.
Yeah, here. Let me. Here's planar binding in the chat. Let me submit. There we go.
He absolutely. Okay, that would have colored this interaction. I only knew about the first half of that spell, which apparently so did Ernest.
It
Yeah.
strives
You have to make a charisma saving throw.
its own objectives.
Milos succeeded. Alright, that makes sense.
Okay.
Alright, whatever.
He succeeded.
Yeah, so.
So he's not in service.
He's not in service, but he is bound. Anyway.
Okay,
Oh, wait,
so
no, he would have been.
no reply. No reply.
Not immediately. Yep, not
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah, I think Zecca just like runs out of the room.
So obviously, one of us should go talk to him. Maybe more than one of us should go talk to him.
Probably.
What's the play here? Because this is an important moment to handle correctly.
Well,
I think Ode has the greatest amount of emotional intelligence of all of us, so she definitely should go.
Why do we all go talk to
I
him? Except Ernest.
Definitely shouldn't.
Okay, Ode grabs Morak's arm and Byron's arm and walks towards the room that Zecca ran out of and kind of nods her head to Artuk to come along to.
Oh, fine.
Morak spills all of his peanuts that he was eating.
Zecca has run out
All over
on
you.
Brought my plate of
where
grilled meat.
Joro is currently token up on a hookah. Zecca, have you partaken? Because Joro absolutely would have offered, because he's a good dude like that.
In this situation, yes.
Alright. It is potent, let's say that. And I'll let you run with it as you so fit.
Oh, it's like all whatever.
No.
Yeah, it's fine.
You
Yeah,
guys
my
Joro
dad
out
doesn't
there
like
giving a
me.
hookah
My dad.
to Zecca.
What do you say?
You see, everyone who rushes out sees Joro
Don't rush.
Oh,
We won't.
then in that case, you see Zecca in the midst of smoking a hookah with Joro. Joro appears to not have any idea what just happened. He's been facing the other way on the porch.
Wow, Joro, this shit's like really good. What is this?
Oh, it's a custom blend.
Oh, well,
And that's as far into detail as I'll go with it.
does your dad hate you, Joro?
Probably. But I think it's because he's jealous of me.
Really? Because
I mean,
they're more
look at me.
powerful than him?
Yeah.
Damn, I think
Fucking
that's
that
why my
guy.
dad hates me too.
Oh, that's fine, man. You're better than him. You want to know why?
Why's that?
Puts his hand on your shoulder. Because you're Zecca. And that means you're the best.
Yeah, I am Zecca.
And don't worry. I'll find your dad, and I'll kick his ass for you.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
100%. What
that's
have I got
really
going
cool.
on?
Yeah, I was like super worried about it and like angry and upset, but like now I just like feel great.
Nah, I mean he's just a farmer. I mean, what's he gonna do? Throw a hoe at me? I'll kick his ass. I can
Wait.
throw fireballs. At
Oh
him.
fuck, Joro. Oh man, you missed all that, didn't you? Yeah, my dad's like a goat.
Just imagine the four of us are standing at the entryway to the balcony, just like
We're all like,
waiting for a jumping in point.
we're all simultaneously saying we should jump in, but also saying let's see how this plays out a little bit.
Yup.
Yeah, apparently my dad's like a magic goat who erased my mom's memory. And so he had me with my mom. And like I think they used some birds and some bees to do it. Maybe it's like a fae thing. Um, and and then she either could stay with him in the Fae realm or come back here and live with my asshole dad. And when she decided to do that because she didn't want to raise me in the city, uh, he got really mad and he transformed her memory to think that she always had me
She was
with
a small town girl.
with my asshole dad. And then my asshole dad thought I was his real son, I guess. And so it turns out this whole time I'm a fae thing. And I just sent a message to my dad and he didn't answer because he's an asshole.
You see,
And now
Joro?
I'm just angry at everyone because I feel like I don't know.
You see Joro nod for a minute, take a hit of his hookah. You want some Cheez-Its, bud?
Oh fuck yeah, that sounds great.
He walks inside past all of you and it's just like
Get out of the way.
He's like he's really bringing down my buzz right now.
you
This
see
vibe is
Joro
not hitting.
at
Bringing
the
down the
bar,
vibe.
at the island bar, just start eating some Cheez-Its, not bringing them out to Zecca yet while he's waiting for you guys.
Should I take a hit of my pen so I could be in character right now?
Up to you.
What did you say, Mary?
I was gonna have Ode kind of walk over, so that she's in Zecca's line of sight and say, "So, you recapping that, Zecca? You've had a lot happen today. You've had basically your whole worldview change, but then kind of like maybe not too much change at all. You know, I imagine that's a lot to deal with."
Yeah, but it's like all chill. I don't know. It's like fine. It like I was upset about it before, but then Joro gave me this like thing, and now it's like great.
I think that's a little bit more of a band-aid solution there, lad.
What's a band-aid?
He mispronounced bandage.
Oh yeah.
I did.
Well,
Listen,
maybe you're right.
you know, Zecca, I grew up with, I guess you could say, some issues with my father and myself. He always had very high expectations of me. And he wanted me to take over things, and it kind of put a little bit of a rift in our relationship, you could say. And whenever I started doing this, whenever I made my pact, I fully walked away from my family. So I can flatly tell you, no matter how angry you may be with this Cal or Keenan, I don't remember which one it was. Either way, don't throw that away. Give him time. Because most likely, he's probably just surprised. He's flabbergasted. And I'm sure he'll come back and he'll talk to you later.
Thank you so
And when that happens, we will be here to support you through everything. And if you ever need to talk to anyone about, fathers or, as you greatly enjoy, violence, you can always talk to me. You can always talk to Artak, Ode, Morak, Sonny, any of us. We will all always be here for you.
Why didn't you say Kezia?
Oh yeah, Kezia too. Sorry,
Just seemed weird
I
that you
forgot.
said everyone and then.
She's
Her.
out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah,
Oh, right. Oh, that's right. She did.
Probably sitting in a
find-
pickle jaw.
Yeah, the pickle
Most likely.
reserves
Is
below
that
the
a pickle
castle.
bar? Sipping from
I'll
a jar.
I'll note too, Zecca. I know it's not a solution to problems with your dad or anything like that, but
Mhm.
it's kind of funky with the herd and all. We don't really moms and dads don't really raise a kid. The herd does. They just birth them, and then the herd kind of collectively takes care of them. But from my perspective, the whole not knowing your dad, not having a good dad, not really having a dad in your life at all thing is kind of the norm. And I can say from my perspective at least, and I understand it's different than yours, and yours is valid in and of itself. But at least from my point of view, you don't need a dad to raise you. You need a herd, and you got one of those.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's weird because I feel like before now I kind of had accepted that. I was like, oh, fuck my dad. He sucks. And now, no, I think I'd always accepted that, and just the chance that I don't have a shitty dad, that maybe I have an okay dad, kind of excited me for a second there, and seems like he's just the same. And but maybe you're right. Nothing really has changed, I guess. And I guess I really am just meant to be a fucking half goat that a really powerful half goat, but I'm a half goat. And maybe that's okay. Things could definitely be worse.
Yeah, it could be worse.
I have a bunch of buds, do cool shit.
Yeah.
But I think I just need a little bit of time to I think it'll take some trial and error to figure out how I feel about my dad.
Yep. And hey, if in the meantime you want legs back, I mean, what's natural for you doesn't mean what you're born with. It means what feels best. So
Yeah.
we
Well,
can keep going down that path if you want it, and I can keep helping push it too.
I like that. And not right now, but eventually I want to go back home, and I want to try and give my mother her memories back. I don't think it's right that my dad would take that away from her.
I agree. I think we can handle that. Especially, that might be a thing to talk to Ernest about. I think that he owes you one, and he might be able to do that.
Oh.
And it's however you continue to feel as we go down the road with this are going to be, I imagine it might change day to day, but having someone who might be able to relate a little bit more with someone who was also kind of abandoned by your Fey dad, I feel like it would feel even more isolating if you tried to talk to your mom about it and she didn't remember. It seems like you've always really liked your mom. You shared a really nice memory of being at the beach with her, and then you can kind of rekindle this relationship with your mom that you had to give up to get away from your asshole adopted dad.
Yeah, I like that. I'll do that. But I mean, this is all amazing and all, and I really do appreciate you guys being here for this. But I can't help but feel like it's overshadowed by like the imminent destruction of everything we know and love.
I mean, Morak's getting married, and he has to deal with that too.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Imminent destruction, am I right? I try to fist bump Byron.
Sure. I mean, I plan on getting married eventually, but all right.
I know. I just feel
twist in the campaign.
I don't plan on getting married. You can fist bump me.
Oh my god.
I mean, one day I'll find a woman I don't scare away.
Yeah.
Or a man.
You know, I've tried that. It just didn't really work for me.
We're gonna cut away for now.
Yeah. Well, in conclusion, I have 2 asshole dads now, and a kind of okay mom, but at least I got you guys. So for a sum total of 9 assholes in my life.
Hey, it takes a herd.
Yeah, I mean, we really are a herd of assholes.
Am I the asshole?
No,
I think we're all the assholes.
I'm saying we're all assholes, me included. It was just like a funny thing. You know what? Maybe not the right time. I love you guys very much. Come here. I want to
We
touch all
love
the
you
assholes.
too, Zecca.
Yes. We love you too,
Love you too.
just the way you are.
We would love you more with feet. And then she hugs him.
Everyone loves toes. Anyway, so let's figure out, are we going to meet your dad? Do we have to go through a portal?
And as this tender moment closes, you all have a massive group hug for Zecca on this bombshell reveal. And as you guys are wrapping up, you hear the door slide open, and Joro say, "Anyone want some Cheez-Its?" and we're gonna take a second.
Well, Ode's leaving by herself, so she goes off from the group and makes her way through the bustling city, kind of pushing past crowds and going to like a specific part of the city that's not like the really like poor congested part, but not it's like the rich mansions, kind of right in between like the market district of the city. And she goes and she buys into a flower shop and purchases one singular lilac. And then kind of leaves and walks with the lilac for a little bit, but then kind of hands it to a little girl on the road.
All right.
And so then after that, checks the time. It kind of waits, realizes she has to wait a little bit, so she buys what was the drink that was Ode's favorite drink? Like a nitro. It's like a coffee with something in it.
It was like a
Coffee with
Like
yak
cold
butter.
foam.
it was
Oh.
it was a whole stick of butter.
Yes, there's the yak butter coffee.
Coffee with a whole stick of yak butter, and while she's in the coffee shop, she picks up a newspaper and flips through the newspaper to catch up on the Cathartas news. She sees a specific wedding announcement with some drawings of some familiar faces.
And the really bad drawings.
And then once the clock strikes a certain time, she makes her way over to one of her favorite playhouses, and it's kind of dark once she enters it, and a play is going on. And you kind of see that there's plays listed for every 2 hours on the marquee. Like this playhouse just constantly has plays going on, so you can just like walk in and just be constantly watching a play. So she kind of settles in like a back part of the audience. It's more deserted. She's several rows away from anyone around her, and kind of waits a couple minutes, checks her wrist and realizes she's not wearing a watch. And as she does that, she looks next to her, and there's oh shoot, I didn't grab a picture, but there's a dragonborn man who has just appeared next to her. And David, that's you.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on.
It's Daz Bote.
Dragonborn? Oh shit. Okay, I understood. Sorry. One moment. Hold on, I need to get back into center.
You see David turn and go, "No, no, no."
David, just say. Ooh.
Oh, good heavens, Ode. No. Okay, we're not ripping off that much.
Ooh.
But yeah,
That's
so
rough.
I thought that was funny.
sorry, Mary. Honestly, I was
I'm gonna
just
take it for a
stuttering
minute.
to read it off. No, hold on. I got this. So you walk up and you see this Dragonborn man. Does he see you?
No, okay. She's sitting in the audience, and he appears next to her, like someone who has the ability to teleport through shadows, and he's sitting next to her.
Sorry, I got so pulled in for just a second that I forgot he was a Dragonborn, if I'm being honest. Okay.
Wait, what race did you think he was? Because whatever race you thought he was is fine by me.
I thought he was a tiefling, if I'm being honest, but that's neither here nor there.
You know
He's
what?
a
Maybe
dragon. No, he's a
When
Dragonborn.
David
That's
made it
not
as the
the case.
okay, he made it a tiefling. You made it a
It
dragonborn.
doesn't matter what David made. This is Mary's backstory, so he's a fucking Dragonborn. But you
Yeah,
see
you tell
suddenly
him.
appear in almost a wisp of smoke a wisp of
Oh,
smoke.
and David, sorry, just so you know, her buying a lilac was her communicating through the secret channels that she wanted to meet Daz at this particular show.
Absolutely, as I of course knew 100%.
Yes, absolutely.
But no, Daz appears beside you, holding a matching lilac actually with you, and just kind of appears just immediately within the seed, like a faint wisp of smoke rising above where or rising shadow, I suppose would be what it was, beside you. Ah, Ode, it's been quite some time since you've been in. How are
Yeah,
things?
yeah. And obviously they'll be whispering quietly, but I won't whisper for the sake
Yeah.
of you being able to hear me. Yeah, we just got in yesterday, and not too much to report.
Well, that is entirely fine, Ode. Please, before we move into the matter of business, please tell me, how are you? It's been some time since I've seen my disciple. I don't
Uh,
like the word disciple. I'm taking that one back.
Mentee. What's the word
Thank
for that?
you. Hold on. Disciple makes it sound way too
Very
much.
Jesus-y.
Since I've seen my favorite student.
Ooh, I like that. Okay. She says, yeah, I've been doing good. I've actually been working with a group, and she kind of like um looks a little bit like, oh, is he gonna say something about that?
You see him squint a little bit, but just let it kind of pass.
They're a really good group of people. They've been great to be around. We've discovered some things that businessy definitely gonna want to tell this Ruli and I, but personally, I'm really happy I'm indifferent.
Well,
How about you?
if you trust their character, then I'm inclined to trust to trust your opinion of them. Perhaps we'll meet sometime. But as for the city, not much. On a business sense, we'll leave that for a bit of time. But on a personal level, things have been relatively quiet. And he kind of just he starts telling you, just like, oh yeah, generally Cathartas, the chapter, has been doing fine. Not a whole lot to report. Cathartas is, unlike apparently everywhere else in the world, been a relatively stable city.
Safe haven.
What?
Safe haven,
Oh yeah,
almost.
yeah. It hasn't had revolts. It hasn't had war force. It hasn't had illithids, storms, an inquisition. It's just been a functional city for the most part. But goes on and just tells you like, oh, some of your different classmates that you knew, just some of them are doing better, some doing worse, some have been reassigned to different chapters, things of that general nature, just kind of like that kind of half business, half personal talk of just here's people you knew who you went to school with and things like that.
Perfect. So I think they'll chat like that for a minute, and then Ode will eventually say, "So, I guess more businessy. I do have some stuff I need to drop off. I also, that group of people I was traveling with, we have some threats I think that the Cerulean Eye should know about, and also I just kind of would like to show them our archives and show them like what it is that information that I've been collecting. So I just kind of need official permission to bring them in and all that sort of stuff. So I was hoping you could kind of pass that up the channels.
Absolutely. I will. Are these individuals trustworthy, Ode?
Oh yeah.
Are they trustworthy enough? He adds.
She says, I'll make sure that we only bring in you only need to get visitation passes for 6 people.
Then I will pass along the appropriate channels, of course.
All right, well, you just give me the signal when we're good to come into the Cerulean Eye, and I'll see you then. And then she kind of looks at him and she says, "Oh, and you'll be proud of this one." And she kind of wriggles her shoulders, and then she dark teleports away.
Oh fuck yes, hell yeah, bro! As you teleport away, you hear for just a moment like a very like shallow like a little gasp. I don't know if that picked up on the microphone of like, and then just a single like clap, followed immediately by a one of the people next to him, and then he immediately teleports away as well.
Yeah, cool. That was my scene. That was what I'd spent time thinking about.
Hell yeah.
I was saying to Eric as I was telling him I wanted to describe that. Sometimes D&D is role playing with your friends, and occasionally, every once in a while, D&D is making your friends listen to a story that you wanted to describe.
Hell yeah, bro! Look at what I have to do every day. Anytime you guys got something cool on the book, go for it. It's sick.
Okay, and then Ode finds the group and meets up with them.
All right. Where has as the rest of the group begins to leave Ernalis's and Joros 1-bedroom apartment as they have a shared living situation. It's not weird, and it's not
Two
anything wrong.
platonic life mates.
Yeah, platonic.
Making movies together.
Yeah.
Just like John C. Calhoun. Anyway, that's enough history lessons. But yeah, as you guys begin to depart, Zecca in particular, Ernest kind of grabs your shoulder. You notice Milos is still bound by those kind of magical like green chains, and he's just kind of stuck in the middle of the floor. Ernest just kind of pats your shoulder as you guys begin to head out, and says, "Zecca, or excuse me, Zecca, I will, with your permission, I will look into ways of finding your father, should you like. But I won't do that unless you give your explicit wish to do so."
I give you my explicit permission to do so.
Very well. Cracks his knuckles, pulls out a knife, and starts walking towards Milo.
What's the song from Reservoir Dogs?
Stuck in the middle with you.
What the fuck?
But
I had that stuck in my head unrelated. That's
weird.
so bizarre. Anyway, sorry.
But he heads over, and you see as the door closes, just different arcane symbols begin to just kind of alight, and Milos looks like, fuck.
He's like,
Will,
oh shit.
as a small, not a small, as an extension of this, I'm going to assume in the weeks, spoiler alert, guys, you guys are going to be in Cathartas for a while. In the weeks that you guys are going to be here in Cathartas, you are going to attempt to help Ernest to the best of your abilities. Is that a pretty fair read?
That's very fair of a read, I would say.
Yeah.
Then I would say I have something I need to share with you. Let me pull it up real quick. I'll share it with the group just so you can see. But as a part of ultimately getting a hold of your dad, let's say, you have this to solve, among
Oh boy.
others, potentially. One second, let me There we go.
How do you think I can solve this by the end of the session?
I'll say it's possible, but unlikely.
All right.
But here's the deal, Will. If you solve it by the end of the session, go for it. If you don't, that's also fine. I'll also just share this on Discord as an image as well, just so people can see it if they don't feel like opening the link. But
is this everything I need to solve the puzzle? This image right here?
It should be. It is possible, but hard.
I'm gonna solve it.
Okay.
This is fun.
Also, simple rule is don't use fucking AI. Do not use
No,
computer to run the
I didn't intend to.
And if you
Would
need
AI
hints,
be
there are
able to
certain
solve?
hints I have ready to go.
Like, would it be possible to ask Chat GBT, hey, solve this fucking puzzle?
I'll level with you. I didn't check.
It's how you ask it, but yeah, you could.
You don't think it would?
Well,
If it can, don't do it. If it can't, doesn't matter.
well,
Either way,
I'm gonna
don't try
get
it.
right on that.
But he does that, and Morak, I'm watching. Good work, Rocket. Morak, Ode, everyone who heads out. You all are once again back into the wider region of Cathartas. You see some royal guards. They're still holding on to that Warforged arm rifle. Had a scene for that intended, but if Carson was here, but he isn't. So we're just going to move on, and we'll just plop that scene back in as needed. Where? I'm going to go ahead and just give Morak the onus on this. Morak, where would you like to go?
Did you guys see that?
Oh yeah, that was great. It was great watching Rocket.
That's where he gets his name.
As a reminder, Morak, the party's plans as they are, I'm assuming Ode has reconnected at this point, or at least quick enough along your route.
Yeah.
Your only specific deadline, or at least like thing on your to-do list for the day, is to have dinner with your family, so your sister, your dad, and your mother at 6 o'clock tonight.
Okay, what time is it?
11 a.m.
Oh. Is
So
there
you have
anything
plenty of time to explore, but just not unlimited time.
anything anybody want to do in particular? We could go get lunch. I know I'm famished. Food, is there anything you'd like to show us?
I did my thing. I don't know what you want from me.
Chuck,
I,
anything you want to do?
I'm honestly kind of here for you, man. I did my shit.
Okay. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I want to go to the market and eat an actual, meal.
Wow, way to diss your butler's cooking.
No, not.
Way to diss my fucking cooking, asshole.
Wow.
I want a traditional Cathartian meal. Breakfast was nice,
tried,
but it was
okay? I really
typically just
tried.
fruit
Take a
and
fucking
stuff.
whatever.
Zecca he stored fish in his bag to feed you traditional Carthartian meals.
Wasn't the same.
Wow.
Just wasn't the same.
Oh.
We're here for you, Zecca. We value you like a family member, but now you're cooking, apparently.
As you guys head out, with Morak having snubbed the party's collective efforts to make him feel at home along the road, you do finally see, for the first time for most of you, the wider city of Cathartas. Let me move the map over. The Tuskbane Estates you guys have been exploring is quite large. Undeniably, like a good section of a city. Like it would probably pass for about, half of Coral Point in terms of size. A lot more spaced out, not very cramped or anything like that, but very much a sizable physical area. The rest of Cathartas, meanwhile, As you look over the cliffside, as you begin to descend one of the great elevators along the edge of the cliff face, you see the scale of the city. Every one of you, obviously, except those who have lived here before, can see the sheer size, the bustle. Even from here up on the cliff face, which is probably about 70 feet high and like a decent chunk away from the main part of the city, you see just you can hear the mass of people moving around. Just a constant noise polluting the air and constant movement across. Along the coast, which you are just able to still see amongst all of it, you see like ships constantly entering port, leaving, just different ones kind of on patrol just to make sure the area is kept safe from any manner of sea life, because fucking there's always something dangerous at sea in D&D, to pirates, to whatever, just constantly on patrol. But just the grandeur of the town. As you begin to move through it, as you head to the I believe it's called the Spice Exchange. Yes. As you guys begin to head here to the center of town and the Spice Exchange for Morak to finally get some food that he was after, you are just able to pass through so much of the city. And you see just a wild mix of architecture. Some of the newer buildings, more orcish and kind of brutalist in structure. But even as you move through, just different parts. So, like, the more ancient buildings have elven, dwarven, any manner of architecture just built on top or retrofitted or rebuilt, but with just hints of their original origin in there. But as you move your way to the Spice Exchange, you see finally just it's almost like a tent village as you guys begin to move through this bazaar of just different spices, different foods. Mark, would you like to take a bit of time to describe some of this area?
So this is a massive market. You see, okay, actually, I'll start out with the grand elevators are these huge lifts operated by four Goliaths who are just spinning these wheels like old school elevator style to lift and lower uh people goers across the cliffs of Cathartas. And then after about like 30 minutes of traveling between like throughout towns, just in between cities, we finally get to the Spice Exchange, where it is just the largest market in Cathartas, where there are massive piles of anything that you could want with some of like insane craftsmen. If you want it, they got it. Essentially, Cathartas is a relatively tropical climate, so they have a lot of tropical fruits, a lot of marine life, a lot of fish, a lot of crustaceans, things like that. Um, some places nicer than others. It doesn't smell that great as a market, but no large market ever does. And in the center, there are more. Basically, the way it works is that the more deep into the market you go, the higher end things get, with a larger like guild of craftsmen being in the center, where a lot of these outer skirts market owners like hope to eventually get to the center to either train with them or get a shop in the center. Um, but yeah, it's just a huge market.
Yeah, as Morik said, and as you get more towards the center, you see like so much of this particular area is like tents or like almost like a farmer's market or like a thrift market that like pops up. As you get towards the center, you see maybe one or two permanent buildings. One is like a customs house and like things of that nature. The other is like a just departmental building. But just so much of this area is just pop up, and it's like you see like not quite like not like a full brawl, but like as like a space opens up, as a particular tent like closes for the day, like a local like fish merchant that sold through it, you see like him begin to pack up his tent, and immediately a rush of these other tents just trying to assemble, and like almost like a brief brawl, like on the verge of breaking out before like guards are able to like separate them, as one just like sets up and just going. You immediately get the impression this place this is like the hottest like plot place to sell your wares, and you have to fight for it constantly to keep your spot. But yes,
And I guess also just to describe the demographic of Cathartas, it is a lot of orcs, but also you see a lot of half orcs and goblin type, like goblins, hobgoblins, bugbears. You see furbolgs, Khajiit, any weird monstrous race, it's there. And a bunch of everything. Not so many elves for some reason, but they're rare anyway. So
I'll also add, I know Carson's muted still, and I don't know if he'll be like fully here, but you will notice like every now and again, a human isn't unseen. You see him pop up, but you're definitely, especially with Morak, who I imagine has like very like the traditional Tuskbane armor, and there's like almost not a full fanfare, but like a very clear like sense of authority as he's walking around. There's more than a few side eyes looks thrown at him, at Byron in particular, before it's like they see Morak and they're like, oh, okay, let's move on. Like even among the guards, it's just like a very odd. It's very clearly like, what's he doing here? All right, he's part of the entourage. Let's move on, but let's keep an eye on him in particular. But yes, 1 second. I need to look at my notes again. Morek, if you have something further, like you're trying to specifically accomplish here, then roll with it, my guy. I just am gonna go over my stuff real quick.
It's kind of like we're waiting on like some sort of mystical figure to give us some sort of like story to follow.
All right, give me a second. That's why I read my notes.
Oh,
Like fell asleep.
so what I missed while I got roped into making a pizza.
Roped into making a pizza.
Yeah, what a line.
Oh,
yeah,
Mamma
it
mia.
sounds like you put up a big fight for that person. You're like, oh no.
But
I grabbed a beer and they're like, "You're gonna help me make a pizza," and I was like,
in any case, you
But
went
I got a slice of pizza out of it.
You went downtown to the North Market.
Okay.
but it's like real big and dense.
Okay.
Any hotties glancing at Byron
Not
in a
You're
non-racist
getting
way?
glances. You're getting glances.
Not one in the way you want.
Can Byron interpret that though?
These think all
Say.
these people are into him. I feel like
Byron, it's up to you. Do you think
I think he's got enough common sense to go like at first he'd be like, "Damn, I must be looking good today." Then he thinks for like half a second, and goes, "It's not because of that."
you do notice one hobgoblin guard? You think they might be into you. Morak, they're not into him.
yeah, so my goal is to one, get lunch, two, I want to go to a blacksmith. Zecca, if you want anything, it's on me. Food wise. Don't be going to buy diamonds.
Well, I preferably. Are there any dishes that are like use a lot of like fermented or preserved or pickled things? Because if so, those are things that I can take with me and I can try and learn how to make them so that you can have more traditional dishes on the road.
Goddamn many.
That would be delightful, and yes, we could go to the whole pickled and fermented area. You can just smell it. You know that stink in the air?
Oh yeah, it smells like the good stink, like moldy cheese.
Yes, yes. Eventually we're gonna find an area where it starts not getting good stink anymore, and that's how you know you found it.
Oh, so like it's like bad stink, but then you taste it and you're like, oh fuck,
Exactly.
like that. I like that a lot.
I feel
Go
like I feel like there's just so much orc cuisine that is just old fish.
Okay. Fermented fish, delicious.
Old fermented fish in like squid ink, so it's all jet black.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Terrifying the American
We're
palate.
walking through the town. Ode points out some like features. She says, "Oh, there's the history museum. That's pretty cool if you guys want to learn more about Cathartas history. There's like my favorite playhouse. One of my favorite playhouses. That one's the best for like Fae themed plays. That's how I know so much about Fae. And then this over here, it's like a small doll shop house, and they have like weird painted faces. Doll shop. They have weird painted faces, very creepy, very cool. This is my favorite children's playhouse. Now they get children of all sorts of families, not just Tuskbane children. Very cute. Usually like more like once a quarter plays. Now this playhouse over here, they've got 24/7 plays, and you start to notice a theme in what Ode is pointing out to you.
I really like the name of that children's playhouse. That one's Nickelodeon, but it says that there's a rival one called Disney down the road.
Called what down the road?
Disney.
Disney, yeah. So the Disney one, it's more musical themed, and like the ones that come out of the Disney Playhouse, they do not end up in the nice Tuskbane playhouses, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
The
So,
Stall 65 and
like
64.
like Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cartoon Network's kind of for the more edgy crowd.
And some adults partake usually if they're doing what Doro is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But that's
jeez.
only at night, after night.
Yeah.
That's a large pool.
David, why would you provide an F as one of the answers with no Fs in here?
Right?
Wait, what is that?
It's a puzzle.
Why did he give us a puzzle?
David, you muted yourself.
To
This is
fuck
how-
with you. I don't know how to be clear. It was to fuck with you.
It's a Fae
Oh, I
puzzle,
see.
dude.
I texted Brenna and I said, "Hey, did you end up being too busy for D&D?" And she said, "I thought it was at 5." And I said, 5 EST. And she said, "OMG, I'm so sorry. I read things wrong. Hasn't hopped on since."
Anyway,
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Morak, as you're leading just through, you guys get a delightful lunch. It's all street meat, street food.
Hell yes.
It's not street
I
meat.
want
Oh no, they were looking for the
Street meat's so
fermented
fucking good.
pickled district.
So we wanted to go
Which
find
is
the
the whole
pickles.
district.
Which is where Kezia would be.
Exactly, you might find her there.
yeah, you guys
That's
are
what we're getting on now.
God.
Go to the pickle district.
You guys move through the pickle district. It is
It's
awful.
pickle
If I'm being honest, moving through it is awful. Like there's maybe one or two of you who are having a great time, can really get into it. Any person who is sane is just trying to cover their fucking nose and mouth, just not to breathe it in. It's just so pervasive. It's spreading into the other areas. But that said, y'all got some fancy fucking pickles. Like you got some that are flavored. You got one that was like a fucking You got a jar.
There's like also more dishes that are pickle based in this district.
yes.
Because Zecca was hoping to learn to make some pickle based
Yes,
dishes.
I said
Arg and such. That's no issue.
yeah. There's like targ is a big pickled dish because you eat it cold. It's just basically pickled fish and squidding.
But
But there's a lot of like pickled like salt packed fruits and berries. So it's just eating a salt lick.
most
But
importantly,
hey, there's a little bit of sweet.
Zecca, you do gravitate towards and find something just called nitro pickles. It's the only item in one of these tents. It seems abandoned, in fact, but you see it just sat on a red velvet pillow, and as you grab it, you just feel compelled to just set some money down, and as you walk away, you're not sure the tent was there at all, but you have nitro pickles in your inventory now.
Amazing.
We'll find out what that does later. But
It's a tool we can use later.
Oh, jeez.
Adam, do you think the E is an I?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, David, what is the purpose of this puzzle?
Hey, guys, you should not work on the puzzle while we're playing so that you can play the game with us.
they're fine.
Well, I am
It's up to them.
playing.
If you guys
David
solve that
also
puzzle-
explicitly was like, you're not going to solve it in the session.
I mean, here's the problem. I'm not as analytical as Adam or Will, so I wouldn't be able to.
I'm having a great time right now.
Either way. But,
What is it for?
To
trying
find
to
my
get a hold of
dad.
his dad.
And for what it's worth, I'm
Okay.
not solving at the expense of the roleplay by any means. I've been present for all of this.
I appreciate that. I don't believe the same is true of Will.
What do you mean? I've been answering and I've been making jokes.
Yucks all the way down.
I yucks and
Sorry,
yams.
my girlfriend instinct of he's playing video games while I'm telling him about my day.
One time last week.
Morak, as you are moving through, actually, Morak and Byron, I think it's safe to say that, let's say Artuk and Zecca split off. They got a little distracted by a particular section of the pickling area. But Morak and Byron, you two, obviously is welcome to be there as well, but those two for sure just have to be together for the scene. But Morak, you feel a heavy hand, like a gauntlet, like latch down onto your shoulder. Mr.
Morak
Tuskbane.
Morak turns around.
You see before you, looking broadly as this picture does, has that loaded for people?
Yeah.
Yep.
You see a hobgoblin man with kind of this bluish nose, wearing like this not quite like full like royal Tuskbane armor, but you see hints of it. Like you see the Tuskbane insignia. Make a history check for me real quick. You have advantage.
David, I think you forgot to update this character's name.
No. I'm pretty sure I have it right. What's it say?
It doesn't say Hobnob the Hobgoblin.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to have.
That's fine. The first one was 25. You know this to be
Welcome.
Mr. Gro'Mo Komori, affectionately known as Hobnob the Hobgoblin to his friends, though. But to give an analog to the real world, this guy would be something similar to the director of the NSA.
Oh,
So specifically, he is the head of the ISS, the Internal Security Service. Again, essentially the NSA, so domestic threats, certain external threats. But that he's coming up to you is maybe a little odd. Not the craziest thing. You've never really had a conversation with him, but you recognize his face just because he's sometimes been in meetings. However, you're clued in a little bit to what this might be about when you do see the Warforged arm cannon kind of tucked in the picture. You see where his helmet is. You see it tucked there. The one that was confiscated from Byron before you guys went into Ernlis's shack.
Oh. So, Mr. Komori, how are
Hobnob,
you?
my friends?
I didn't assume we were at that point yet. Hobnob, how,
We aren't friends.
oh, Mr. Komori, like, Ode and Byron can see that Morak is a little bit flustered by him finding us in the market. How, what brings you here today? And Morak's like kind of realizes like, oh shit, we have a Warforged arm.
He just taps it, and then just points at Byron. If I'm being fully honest, you have been giving me quite a headache, and this is something of an exclamation point to the end of it. Between the elf wizard, the human wizard, two random humans that you've brought into town with essentially no real reason given, and then bringing another human in your entourage who has this with him. I thought it was best if you would just answer these questions right now.
wouldn't you prefer to talk in private, General?
Yeah, I don't.
Komori?
I don't feel that doing this out in the open would be great.
I do. Talk.
I'll say, as a member of the Cerulean Eye, that this is a matter of national security, that you shouldn't have public people hearing this.
You see, he just looks up, gives out a faint whistle, and you see just some more members, just some guards, just kind of appear, and you see like the area begin to clear out. Is this enough now? Now answer this. Where did you get this? Why did he have it? And what do you need all these people coming here for? I'm not here to arrest you. I'm not even here to discipline you, but I need some concrete answers to these right now, because otherwise, I'm taking this away, I'm sending the rest out, and I'm sending him away. Point gestures to Byron. Are we very clear on this?
Needless to say, and I could go into more details if you would like to come to my parents' house for dinner at 6. But long story short, my friends and I here have come across 2 Warforged in our journey, and that is somewhat of a victory prize after we took one out of commission. Let's just say it's not working like it used to anymore. If you catch my drift.
Okay, make a deception. You have advantage because of that last point.
Oh, great! Morak isn't good at this stuff. Deception. 16.
Okay. He lets you continue. He doesn't seem you can't quite get a read on whether he's like, oh yeah, I buy that, versus he's just kind of keeping a stone face.
As you can see, my friend Byron here is not. What is Byron wearing? Isn't he just wearing like basic leather? Like he doesn't have a sword or anything.
I don't
Nope.
think so. He certainly
He
isn't
doesn't.
armed, at least not extensively.
I mean, he looks like his picture.
Needless to say, when we took that Warforge out of commission, we thought it in the vein of sounding childish. We thought it kind of just looked cool for him to wear. It's been a long journey. Not much food. You knew that we came in very late at night, and kind of wobbly thoughts. It really just slipped my mind. The humans that we kept finding and the elves were being targeted by worse uh people. In Harrier Magi, I'm sure you know about the Weave Scard. Uh because some of them have, just by nature, somewhat magical, as you know, some of our races here are like the Tiefling. They were being targeted, so I took it upon myself to protect people as Inaville teaches us to.
Before Kimura can say anything, Ode, who I imagine is there, will jump in and she'll say, Morak, this is General Komori we're talking to here. No reason to be so coy. She looks at General Komori and she says, that arm, it wasn't a childish plaything. It's that this human over here has some magical powers, not of the regular human magic, but whatever he has, that thing isn't magical itself, but helps him to channel it. It's useful, it's not just a plaything, and I think they would discover that pretty quickly. Um, but uh, it's useful for you to know that the human, he's been working with us for months now. He's a loyal friend. Um, and that thing, which she gestures towards the arm, sure, he shouldn't have it in the city, and your people should certainly investigate it, but that is what we know of it.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry for not telling you everything. I guess I'm just a little bit nervous with you being here and all. I don't want my family to get in trouble, or me or my friends. Yeah.
Okay. He looks between the two of you, and he kind of just sizes up Byron. Byron, make a wisdom save.
Okay. Damn. Normal wisdom. 12.
What? How is Byron feeling right now? Like as a holistic thing.
A bit uncomfortable, and now, well, it was uncomfortable leading up to this, and then as it's gotten more tense, he's just like the way I've been standing here with like my arms crossed, of like kind of defensive. That's how he's been feeling. I'm just kind of like, all right, this is a bit much. I'm feeling targeted.
He's been called the human in this conversation.
A few too many times.
Yeah, a little bit of like, in the back of his mind, being like, I have a fucking name.
Your name doesn't matter. Anyway. No, he doesn't actually say that out loud. He thinks it though. But looks between you rolled a 12. Okay, he fails that. Byron,
Okay, David, my strategy was to like bolster that the rest of what Morak was saying was true by like correcting him on this important yet like non-vital detail kind of thing.
yeah, no, I got you. Byron, make one more wisdom save real quick for me.
Okay.
'Cause the
At least
first
it's one better.
Alright. Even then,
Let's
it's about-
go.
you feel and you resist, but you feel just like this magical presence just kind of like burrowing into your thoughts. Not quite able to get a full like into it. You can feel him basically trying to read your mind. Like in a very in a literal magical way. He's not quite able to, but he's very much focusing on you and just trying to get a good read on it. And that kind of tips you off that a second ago he was kind of just trying to read your temperament to this kind of confrontation.
I think at feeling that, Byron will kind of square his shoulders a bit more and say, Oi, you can just talk to me, lad. No need to try to read my mind. I prefer you be a bit more upfront about it.
Turns back to Morak.
Morax will be like,
Hands you back the arm cannon.
Me?
He is your responsibility. See to it that he doesn't cause any undue unrest. And then after handing it back to you, takes a step back and gives a very short bow. And sorry, wow, choked that. He does that. Sorry. Takes another short bow. Prince Tuskbane, Madame of the Cerulean Eye, walks away without tipping to Byron. And all the guards
Wow.
kind of disperse.
Oh, I like
I've
that.
never-
Like people start mingling back in the square.
Yeah.
And you see
I've
it's like
never felt so welcome in an area.
it's immediate. Like it was like night and day. Like the minute those guards entered the area, this place was cleared out. The minute that he kind of gives like that second like little like wolf whistle, like I can't do a whistle, but it's just like immediately they fade out and the crowd begins to fill again, like as if there was nothing that happened here.
Ode kind of waits a beat for the crowd to turn in and kind of like listens to see if there's any like people who might be like NSA people moving among the crowd, and then kind of waits another beat and then turns to Byron and Morak and be like, I was so good at not revealing everything when you started saying that. I was like, no, we should just tell him like we have a warforged and he got turned into a dwarf and we met another warforged and he went here, and I was like, oh no, that's not what Morak's doing.
I was so scared. I am so glad he didn't try to read my mind. I knew that he could do that, and I was so scared.
You see a red dot appear on Ode's forehead.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I'm gonna. Hey, Bart, I'll give this back to you later. You can't disguise it at all, can you?
No, I can't.
Okay, I put it into my
Wait,
bag.
let me think hard about the spells that I have.
Just
Never mind, I absolutely can.
General.
Okay, then you put it on and like shove your arm in it and disguise it so that people don't know you have one.
Alright, I'll cast Disguise Self.
All right, easily done.
When we left Ernalis's, why didn't you tell anybody that you didn't get that back?
It's almost
Because
like
I was making a pizza. You know,
Oh, I forgot.
like I didn't take a
read
hit of the
it-
hookah, but oof, dude, I want some of the munchies.
Rocket hasn't been out since this afternoon, so I'll take him out so you can play your fun fantasy game.
Thank you, Mary. You're the one that had her own scene earlier.
I think I have
Oh.
more for even out still. Anyway, but yeah, as just a quick refresh again. As Otis astutely pointed, General Komori, he is like not a member of the cabinet, one step below, still listened to, like very much NSA director, head of the CIA. Like he has some pull, but he's not going around like he can't just blacklist you, especially you as a Tuskbane. Like he would have a fucking time trying to do that. So that was probably in hindsight more of just like fuck you doing.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like he's high enough up that if Morak screws something up big, it could be bad. But like in meetings, his family still has more pull because he is a Tuskbane.
It's the kind of deal of like he could yell at you, but if you complained about it, he'd better have a good reason for having yelled at you.
Yeah. Oh, Byron, since O just went to go play with that dog over there, is he coming to dinner? I don't know if he is or not.
I'm gonna go with no.
Okay.
Personally, based off of that interaction, I prefer if he did.
Yeah, me too.
So it seems like there's still a little bit of human distaste around these parts, given the history.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm sorry about that.
You know, it's fair. I understand. I get flashbacks when we first met, and I believe you also just referred to me as the human. So I really should be used to it.
No, I feel like it might just be like it's definitely something that we need to change, but like it took me a while. It took me a solid 6 to 8 weeks. I don't know how long we've been together.
I'm not sure either. Time to
Anywhere
pass
from
is real
6
weird
weeks
for
to
us.
6 months.
If
I don't
I
know. It feels like 4 years.
if I may interrupt, as you guys are walking away, like kind of from that general area, kind of like, okay, let's fucking move. You do pass a poster just kind of put up on the wall somewhere. And you do see just town hall, just written in bold, town hall meeting, ongoing debate, Sven Babito, just Sven Babito in attendance. As Morak, you will remember. I won't make you roll for it. Sven Babito is, of course, the he was kind of picking up as you left home, like probably like was picking up in a few months beforehand. But he is very much a orc first, very much a like. It's simply logical that Cathartas should be ruled by orcs. The other races, let's assume, for the sake of argument, that the other races were given power. What would happen? And you get the fucking point from there. As you see a few posters for Sven Babito just around town. Not overwhelming. It's not like he's the next coming of Jesus or anything, but you see enough that it's like only reinforcing Byron's point.
Yeah,
Who's this Babito guy? I'm seeing a
I
lot of
don't.
Babito
I don't want to.
2024 around here.
I don't want to talk. I don't think he understands there's not elections here. Like, it's just not happening. I don't. He's just kind of a prick, but like when you're like 14 and trying to be edgy, you kind of think like, oh, this is cool. Uh, anyways,
Okay.
yeah. To sidetrack that conversation. Yeah, I don't feel like I've grown a lot in being friends with you and being friends with Sunny. And I'm sorry how I used to act. Uh, anyways, I do think being here, you do kind of like stick out a little bit for a number of reasons, and I think the robot arm, Warforged arm, did not help when you first came here, at all. So yeah,
I mean, I kept it in my bag before.
yeah. It's weird that like when we got here, you like put it on. Like I think you were sleepwalking. But anyway,
That's one.
They asked me to clear out my bag of weapons.
Byron was that was a security check. He wasn't just wearing it.
I know. Morak doesn't remember.
It was a scant 2 hours ago, though. How could you
Yeah,
not remember?
that's true.
Yeah, Brian
but
just
for
as soon
Eric,
as
it was 2
he
weeks.
got in, he just put it on and just go.
Popped off some rounds on the royal courtyard.
Let's have a fucking wedding! Pa pa pa!
Yeah. Since we're here, if you want any more like Cathartian appropriate attire, we could get you that, or possibly better armor. I don't know if you can wear armor anymore. Honestly, I
can
don't know how
wear
you lose the ability to wear armor as a person, but I think that somehow happens in this world.
whenever I like swapped bodies and like consciousnesses with like another one, it kind of happens. I can only wear light armor, and I'm already wearing something. I'm wearing clothes, but what armor am I wearing?
Didn't you take the Inquisitor's armor?
Oh yeah, which was like plus 1 set of leather.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, like if
Oh, I
we
mean-
wanted to go to a tailor, I think we could get it made a little bit more Cathartian.
I mean,
Make it a little bit more.
will that get a few less eyes on me?
I feel like if you embrace culture, typically people see you embracing the culture and they appreciate it.
I mean, I don't know. I see Arta giving me both a thumbs up and a thumbs down, and it's really confusing me.
Where's Arta? How?
I
Arta,
don't know.
how are you?
He passed by, and he just went boom, and then he walked off. It was really weird.
I was over there like watching but not able to hear like everything, like trying to like, am I good to come back over? Y'all?
Yes.
Oh yeah, come on over, Arta. Yeah.
All right.
So, have you noticed any racism here?
I need Will to pull the trigger on it. I'm not telling you whether that's right or wrong, but I need Will to pull the trigger on it.
Okay, yeah, he wasn't a part of it, so
Okay.
let
I'm not
him solve.
saying shit then.
Cool.
And don't give hints.
I won't. I just
Wait, so did he get it right?
I'm not telling you whether he got it right. I need Will to give the fucking answer.
Well, I don't fucking know a word that like it makes no fucking sense. Like,
Let's go to a tailor, Morak.
Okay, hold on. Let me
I
put
could
it.
use some fresh digs.
that was to answer your question, Byron. No, I haven't, and it's been kind of weird after walking around the Empire. The fact that like this is the first time I've seen like outside of Gautera, I guess, furbolgs just walking around and nobody batting an eye at it.
Oh wait. Yeah. I think, and as he says that, Mr. Tuskbane, you pulled him into a very particular tailor's store. And
I guess we'll just like bring Artuk with us as we're walking to the tailor, and possibly like and Zecca, like we put one of those little kitty backpacks with a leash on it so that he can keep working on it, and we just like pull him along.
100%. But as you walk in, as you pull them in, you remember there's one tailor that your family in particular enjoys. It is a Furbolg man who runs the store. And it is a savant of fashion by the name of Gro'Mo. As you walk in, you see the most immaculately dressed man in total fucking European styles. A Furbolg, not unlike Zecca. God damn it! I even took a second thing. I want to defend that one. I thought of Zeltak first, and I was like, that isn't right. That one was explicit. That one was explicit of a fuck up. But you see, not unlike Artuk, stood there before you, but adorned in this beautiful, like almost like Renaissance outfit with like these extra collars, this beautifully crafted, hand sewn like cotton shirt, dressed much like as the portrait is stood before you. And as you walk in, you see him like literally like kind of in that way of like he has that kind of like fuck, what's it called? Like a measuring tape wrapped around his arm, like just like different like the pin bat, like the fuck, what is it called?
The
Like
pins.
The
sewing.
pincushion?
Well,
Thank you, fuck. Pin, like a pin cushion with a bunch of pins,
Hmm.
like different types of fabric thrown over his arm as he is currently like finishing up what appears to be a well, maybe not a wedding dress, but certainly like a fancier dress for an orc woman.
Well, I can tell I'm gonna like this.
Gro'Mo. Long time no see, friend.
You see he holds up a finger, finishes one final pin, steps away. You look beautiful, darling. And takes this long, exaggerated bow before you and says, Prince Morak Tuskbane, it has been too long. I believe it was your quinceanera that I last worked with you.
It's true. It's true. That's where I became a woman.
How may I help you?
My friends and I, these are my two friends, Byron and Artuk. We're in the market for some new clothes.
It looks specifically at Artek and is like, I can see, okay.
I'm like giving him the exact same look back of just like bewildered, like
And looks
what?
over at Byron and is like, very well. All right. Here we are. And what all? I'm assuming this will be a expense to. You see the orc woman. Sir, we weren't done. I will get to you in a moment. If you want a certified Gro'Mo dress, you will deal with the experience. How may I help the rest of you?
Well, my friend Artuk here needs, frankly, no offense, Artuk, like a whole new outfit. And then Byron here is looking to embrace Cathartian culture, and I couldn't think of someone better to bring him to.
It is a good day.
Yeah.
Immediately starts like you almost like a fucking spell. Like it's like he teleports behind Artuk and is immediately taking measurement. Artuk, you think he's trying to strangle you with the measuring tape for about half a
Yeah,
second.
I had
He's
this exact
working in
same moment with a hot knife a moment ago, or like not too long ago, and I'm like having flashbacks to hot knife.
as he just begins to go just like take your measurements down and that you see this again this one orcish woman who was like nearly done is just kind of stood there in the middle of like a parlor just like just sits down at this point is just watching you guys like half glaring but is all more like angry at Mr. Gro'Mo for losing his focus immediately.
Mr. Gromo, if you don't mind me asking, where are you from? As he's like near strangling me with things.
Let me work.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, how's your day been, Morak?
I mean, it's been pretty good. It's good to be back home. Had a little bit of a strange run-in with Admiral Komori, which was a little bit. I don't know. I forget what his title was. Sir
General.
Komori, General. Okay.
Odd.
He's not on a boat. Um, but yeah. But other than that, it's been pretty good. Um, oh, I do want to show you something. I think you're gonna like it. And Morag just looks at him and then switches his armor to look like he's in the exact same outfit that Gro'Mo is in.
Oh yeah, it looks good. Looks great. It suits you, Prince Tuskbane.
Great. You can just call me more. And then he goes back to his armor after realizing it doesn't really work on him.
It's just a thing of like the exact way his clothes work. They flush you out so much that it's like the outfit and how it fits on you is fine, but it doesn't work in that inexplicable way that it just makes it all the more frustrating. Well, have I got an outfit to make for you then too?
I mean, you're good. You're good. It's fine.
No, now I insist.
Before you start taking my measurements, Prince Morak, could you show me to the restroom real quick?
Yes. And I bring him over to the restroom.
And he will
I
take
give him-
off the armor and go, this will really freak him out if he finds it while taking my measurements.
Yeah. And I put it into the bag of holding.
Call at this point, Artug. It's like
Let's
he's
just
doing
keep
a
it there.
exam, and you don't know how this has to do with any of your outfit, but he seems confident that it matters.
As like with them gone, I look back up at him, and this time like quietly in giant, I'm like, if you're not too busy with your work now, where are you from?
Well, my story is a vast tale. I was born in the city of Capra. As you say this, he just starts going. He was born in Capra. He was always raised in there. That is a city near it. It's basically due south of Corgrone as opposed to Galterra, which is due north.
Yep. Yeah, it's near
He starts going on about his life in the city and his pursuit of passion. You lose interest very quickly. It very quickly becomes, well, if you do, it very quickly becomes and here's how through fashion I was and this pursuit of like this interest of mine, I was able to raise myself out from the gutter and become an esteemed tailor, and it's as interesting as Artuk allows it to be.
I feel like he is the first Furbolg I've ever like talked to who didn't come from a herd or the herd. And like I'm bewildered and baffled at the idea that he was like born in a city and like just raised through urban life. And so I feel like I'm like hanging on every word of what he's saying. And I think like maybe he even like sees it on my face and notices as he's going just how like intrigued I am by everything he's saying, and like it pushes him to keep saying things even more. Like, I like this kid. I'm gonna keep telling this kid stuff. This kid seems really, really sharp. He's on top of things. He actually likes this shit.
It's like when your uncle has an anecdote and you buy in just a little bit, so suddenly the anecdote becomes a whole story in and of itself. Like this easily could have been like a 1 minute story, but he's been telling you for like half hour to an hour now.
I feel like I start like asking like informed but very like obvious that I don't know anything questions throughout the whole time he's going about like, fashion trends and why like, why as he's like, he makes like offhand comments as he's going, he's like, of course you wouldn't put that on your lapel. That would be dastardly. And like as he's continuing, I was like, wait, why wouldn't you put it on your lapel?
Oh my god, let me tell you.
And like he just like goes deep, and I keep asking, I just don't get the idea that like it's not a good idea to keep going, and I just keep going.
You also do notice as he spirals, so it isn't just ongoing constantly. Morak, how much hesitation do you put up to a new outfit?
It's one of those things of Morak thinks he looks good in everything. So he did like when he changed it and noticed Gro'Mo's um demeanor about him wearing it, he's like, okay, maybe this isn't for me. I respect his opinion. He would not like getting an outfit from Gro'Mo is just like a thing in itself. Like there's status to that. Like you should be proud to get something from Gro'Mo. But he might try to push him to get something different. Like, he still wants an outfit from Gro'Mo, but he wants it to be something original.
Gro'Mo
And he'll let Gro'Mo do whatever Gro'Mo wants.
You see him take a pause back. At this point, he's gotten the measurements from Artuk and is kind of like taking a step back to just kind of conceptualize what will it be. You're due to be married, aren't you?
That
Yeah.
You see like a Cheshire smile begin to break. Same
I'm
deal with
glad
Artuk.
that
It's
the
like a
news.
it's a flurry of measurements. It feels like an attack on the census as he goes through it.
Oh, I can tell I'm going to like you, Gro'Mo.
And as he goes through, he's a lot faster because to an extent, he got sidetracked with Artuk, but he 100% kind of is like, I know. And he begins to put together sketches, and it looks by and large like a wedding suit. A very nice one, very high quality material, very complimentary to Morak's skin tone. Everything about it is exactly what Morak would want. But you do notice just in the inlay, specifically along, is Morak left or right arm hand dominant?
I feel like he's somewhat ambidextrous, but he uses his sword with his left hand.
You see
Shield right, sword left.
shield right, sword left. Okay, you see
I
just
know it's different from normal. I'm breaking down
breaking
boundaries here.
stereotypes.
He's a lefty.
You see as he begins to sketch, you see just different little like pseudo arcane runes and such being like described onto the wrists of either basically kind of like the wrists and the forearms of the suit. And you see a very brief sketch of a cape with a full cape with the Tuskbane logo being put on it. It looks okay with the outfit, but it really comes down to if Morak wants a cape. And he's just kind of looking at it like,
Maybe not for this one.
rips the page out immediately.
It's just a lot. Like,
But he just kind of continues to move through, and you see just like with Artuk, he's taking a lot of care to get the measurements right. But he's very much just getting the measurements down, kind of picking material and stuff like that. With Morak, it's a lot more of like he gets the measurements very quickly, but he's like being very like slow and methodical with picking like materials and like making little notes to himself of like detailing along the wrist, along the arms, along the back, just different little things there. Gives a lot of extra room in the crotch, you notice.
thank you.
But um and he moves on to Byron. And you. What would you
Know
like?
that. What do I like?
I can
Well,
make you
you know that cape
you
that you know that cape that you showed Morak that he was like on?
Mhm.
Fuck me up with that, you know? I want to get the full Cathartian experience. I want to be fully submerged, engrossed, enveloped, all of it.
Gromo, you know, my friend Byron here is also a bit of a ladies' man. He's only in town for a little bit, so you know the saying, Paisley makes girls go crazy.
As I'm well versed.
Okay, I'm rolling insight on that.
Natural one. Morak.
22.
You know Morak thinks women love Paisley.
Morak believes it. Byron
Morak believes it. Morak is also the person that's in an arranged marriage.
Yeah, what's Gro'Mo thinking?
Gro'Mo understands that Morak's paying for it. But isn't gonna do Byron dirty because he has fucking standards.
Thank you.
He goes down once again, measurements. This time, actually, Byron, there's a brief moment where you actually do have your air cut off. He is really getting that neckline. He is trying to make sure it is exactly right. And there, you do pass out for a minute or so. You end up on the floor, and Grummel's just like, "Wake up! I need to continue."
Yep, sorry. You know, haven't eaten too much yet today. Yep, good.
But begins to go down the line and puts together a number of sketches. Is there any tape very much included for Byron, but going down the line, a very almost Florentine outfit. Like, once again, from the Renaissance. Not quite what Gro'Mo himself has, but not entirely far off from it. And begins to have a few sketches. Byron, is there anything in particular with this outfit that Byron will insist upon?
Ooh. Ooh. Oh, damn.
Don't we want it to be like also his armor? I feel like that's a given,
Well, you
right?
can always throw the cape over the armor.
That's true. Okay, you make a point.
It's like John Wick. He puts the Kevlar inside the suit.
You know, I would really like something to make my eyes pop. Note that my eyes can be two different colors. One is gray, kind of like a bluish gray. The other one is like what you're seeing now, which is like this jade green. Magic. You know how it goes.
He just looks confused at his fabrics for a minute, like, huh. That one's gonna be a bit tricky.
I've been yet to find someone who can, but I think you
Makes
can
sense.
do it,
He
Gro'Mo.
writes a note down. You see in... Do you read Giant?
No.
Regrettably, neither does Artuk.
True. I just speak it.
You see a small note written in Giant, you assume.
You can
If you
tell
need, I
because
can
it
give you an
looks
example of what the eye color looks like.
Giant is just common, but in all caps.
Like in
I
a
just can't
crayon.
read it.
Yeah, big, all caps.
It has to be in a crayon, and sometimes things are backwards, but it's not consistent.
Wait, is Ode here?
Ode's also here. If Ode wants an
Can
outfit,
be
you
here.
can get that.
No, I
Imagine-
can't comprehend languages.
Oh,
Subtly.
All right. It says... The note says... Fuck, I don't know. and then a little like asterisk after just saying enchanted equal sign dollar question mark subnote in the budget question mark.
Ode reads that and just says, hey, Morak, what's your budget?
I'm just putting it on the family account.
No budget.
You see him strike through a few of them.
I hope that's okay with you, David, of Morai puts it on his tab.
As long as you're fine with the family coming to fucking collect eventually.
I feel like they understand Morai's shopping travel.
Yeah, it's on them to have taken away his line of credit with the shopkeepers.
But Gro'Mo goes down the line, and you all see, obviously they're not made yet, they're gonna need some work done, but Gro'Mo has taken your orders, and
Wait.
with knowing that it's through the Tuskbane estate, we'll figure out where to send them. You see a little contact card that just has Dottingsworth information on it, that he just puts on each of them, is like, well,
Oh,
gentlemen,
I know I just jumped in, but Eric recapped for me. When he gets to Ode, she says, she kind of crosses her arms and she says, "How to wear the uniform and don't touch the cape."
wait, what was the first thing you said, Mary?
I said, "Gotta wear the uniform, which is her robes, and don't touch the cape."
Where does that leave?
Accessories.
Ooh.
As Artuk says, accessories. You see so many just different like him just pull out just a shitload of brooches, pins, stuff like that, like
Love it.
jade, gold, silver,
Jewelry. That's actually really good.
yeah, just all down the line and just all fancy. You see a number of price tags on this stuff that has no mechanical benefit, but Morak's family will surely have to pick up the tab for. And he's trying to match it with Ode's eyes, different patterns in her fur, making very clear to avoid actually touching any of the uniform or the cape, but kind of comparing against seeing which pops, which is best, which accessories work.
That's awesome. I think Ode was actually kind of standoffish if they got to a tailor because she grew up being taught weaving by her kind of art colony people. And so then when she yes. And so then when she was brought in by the cerulean eye, they kind of were like, oh, well, if you want to work for us, you can like be a tailor because we don't necessarily do weaving, but you can like make clothes for people. So she kind of like picked up clothes making, like tailoring skills from there. But like as I said, like the monks at the monastery wear like relatively simple robes, like square cut top, cinched in with like a cloth belt, like square cut pants. And so she's more of a weaver by trade than she is a tailor. So I think she was a little bit intimidated by like she's been kind of stitching together like makeshift like cloaks for the group for months now, and so it felt intimidated by like an actual like stylized aesthetic tailor. But when he pulled out like brooches and like cat earrings, she very much warmed up to him.
You also Ode would notice this as well. As you're looking through, you do see just slyly in a little notebook, he is writing down stuff, and you see like a very faint sketch of Ode's cape, as if he's not given completely up on the idea of accessorizing it, but isn't doing it yet. Like, I'll get there one day. I'm gonna get that
Don't
goddamn.
warm up to me. I like that.
Just not to leave anyone out, Mr. Zecca, if you'd like to pull yourself away from the cipher for a moment, is there anything in particular you go for?
Anything blue with stars. I want to look like a wizard boy.
You immediately see him just begin to
Just
put
straight up Mickey Mouse wizard
Yes,
outfit.
I just
That
want a
fits
Mickey
so
Mouse
well.
wizard outfit. Yep. That's exactly what I want. Word for word.
I forgot. I thought Will was like kind of away, so I was gonna have Morak buy him a Cathartas University hoodie.
Oh, I just don't think. I'm just gonna share my screen.
It'll be the Cathartas University mages.
Will, I'll say this. Adam proved it was possible. I won't tell you any of what he put, but he got it. So it's possible at the very least, and I was pretty confident it was.
Yeah, one sec.
I'll make a note for you, Will. David accidentally forgot to put a single space.
Did I? I was
Yes.
pretty goddamn certain.
Or well, maybe it just doesn't show up well on the paper there. Oh yeah, it is there. It just doesn't show up. It's not nearly as big as the other ones on the paper.
Okay. This is what I've got so far, but I'm almost certain that a word does not exist with these letters.
I can't read
see it.
this.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna look at it right now. Adam, which one are you talking about? Though I'm curious.
Let me find a way to say it without saying it.
Oh, wait a minute. I see what you did. I see what you're talking about.
I thought what looks like the 7th and 8th words were one big word. They are not. They are two words.
Yeah. Well, third row. The first one is 5 letters long. It's not.
It does look like one.
Motherfucker! That's why I was so. Oh my god!
It took me a second to figure that out, but I figured it out when I realized what the 2 words had to have been.
The spacing on that a lot. I don't know how I missed that one. Anyway.
Okay, so this is one word right here.
No. The BLJKC is its own word, separate from QV, D, whatever.
Anyway,
Okay. That doesn't help me as much as I thought it did.
That tip off for formatting. Adam, thank you for pointing that out, because I would have felt bad if it was a fucking formatting issue.
Yeah, I could tell that was not something you intended, which is why I felt okay saying it.
Oh, by the way, one thing with that puzzle. Trying to fucking write that thing earlier today, writing it in physical, like the physical nature of it. It's fine. It's fine to do and write it out. I can work backwards from that. It's fucking hard as hell to type it out.
I bet, man. That's impressive that you did.
Just about broke my brain. Anyway.
Okay, am I on the right track?
Adam, it's up to you. I refuse to give hints.
You got.
I feel like a fucking idiot right now.
Hey, you need to have Artuk have some sort of insight into this Fey magic, and have Artuk advise Zecca in some sort of scene.
Good point. In fact, I'll leave that to you two. Meanwhile, leaving the tailors of Gro'Mo, the master tailor.
And yes, when if Kezia or Sunny ever play, I assume they get outfits too. This is also how to retcon Sunny actually having clothes now.
Absolutely not. Sunny missed out on it.
Okay.
Kezia's fine. Kezia's okay to have clothes, but Sunny 100% is not allowed now. He has his poncho, and that is what it will stay.
Winnie the Poohing life.
Tell me it isn't the most on brand for Eric.
True.
Fair.
All right. 1 sec. I need to make sure. I've gone through a lot of my notes, so I just need to make sure I got them all down.
This cat refuses to get off my chair.
I would say after a brief interrogation from General Komori, a very extended trip to the tailor.
Can I add as we're exiting the tailor? I want to as we start to go out after my when he got his 30 or 40,000 word essay in while the others were in the bathroom and I was there alone and I was hanging on to his every word of the 40,000. I'm gonna turn back around on the way out the door and be like, Mr. Gro'Mo, I feel nervous about asking this, but especially because, you're the expert here by all means. But just based on what you taught me there, do you mind if I have at least give you an idea for what I have in mind, given your teaching?
Scans you up and down. You're in his turf now, and he does not take this lightly.
This is, I only learned this from you just now, so feel free to poke holes in it if I got it wrong. But, we'll start with the foundation. A pair of bespoke trousers and a sumptuous wool blend, cut in a slim-fit high waist, finished with sharp crease down the front. Trousers will be paired with a crisp white dress shirt tucked in neatly, fastened with a mother-of-pearl buttons, featuring a spread collar, we'll say a Caprian cuff style, just to do homage to your home. For the jacket, we'll go a double-breasted blazer in a luxurious silk, whatever you got, and a wool blend with wide peak lapels and a striking houndstooth pattern, if you got anything like that on you right now. The jacket, a structured shoulder, nipped waist, and tailored to accentuate my physique, because you just took all the measurements there. And then to complete it, we'll do some accessories. So a silk pocket square in a bold geometric pattern, neatly folded in the blazer breast pocket, and a slim black leather belt with a silver buckle to cinch the waist of the trousers. And then, some shoes with the sleek black patent leather design. Maybe brogue detailing.
Is this from Kingsman?
Bravo!
While this was happening, I like to think that Morak was in awe, and then as Ode walked by, he was like, "Watch this," and Byron walked by. No, you gotta watch this.
Gro'Mo
Byron sheds a single tear.
Gro'Mo takes a deep breath, kisses you on the forehead, Artuk, and gets to work.
I'm glad that I could do.
He's been waiting this entire time. He's still not going to finish her dress.
David, please flip the Gro'Mo. That was great.
Please, clip it. Yeah, 100%. All right. Failing that, I'm assuming there's nothing else. I'm going to just call it that it's 5 o'clock. Morak, it's approaching dinner time. You've got your sister, you've got your mother. You got your mother at home waiting for you. And you've got your father. It's about time you headed back. Otherwise, you're going to be keeping your mother waiting, and you wouldn't want to do that. You're a good orc boy.
Yeah, guys, I'm a good orc boy. We can't let my mother keep waiting. We have to get back.
What if you go back and it is the wedding ceremony?
No, I mean, it's going to wait for the Gro'Mo exclusive.
Yeah. First off, we'd have to wait for all of your outfits.
Oh, are we getting wedding outfits?
Well, I mean, it's you need a good outfit for the wedding.
Oh, I'll probably be on security details.
That's how I'm gonna get away with my parents paying for all this. I'm gonna say it's for the wedding, and they won't care.
Fair enough.
Hold on, Adam. Thank you
Yep.
for delivering a perfect bookend to that.
The moment that you started giving me the long like spiel from him, I was like, I have a bit. I need to.
Did you type that out? Bad to him.
No, I basically like went to Google and got all the like fashion jargon that I possibly could, and like copy pasted between Google's recommendations, the like AI recommendations, just like everything I could cobble together.
That's a good chat GPT. A overly detailed description of a Victorian outfit.
It's basically like how I spawned a bunch of it.
Jesus
That and Google.
Christ, it's fucking funny. Oh my god. All right.
Yeah, the patterned pocket square is the best part by all means.
Fucking funny. The idea that Arctic has a pocket square of all. All right, though.
When you said it matches your physique, I'm like, I don't think we've ever talked about like what physique Artuk has.
Artuk
And
is
for
built
some
like
reason, I was like, well, he's a big fuzzy man, and the only big fuzzy man I could think of was the Grinch. So to me,
Like the big belly.
yeah, you have the same physique as Jim Carrey's Grinch.
No,
got a beer belly?
talk about
Carrey
like
specifically.
I feel like Artuk is like they talk about body shapes like you can have like triangle or like square build. You can like do like hourglass figure things like that. Artuk is built like a stick. He's the same width the whole way through.
Oh my god, that's fucking funny.
It's like a gazelle.
The party, barring any further interruptions, heads back for dinner. It's about, after you get back, it's just about 6 o'clock as you guys enter in. Immediately, it's uncanny. Dottingsworth is somehow right there to take all your coats at that exact moment. Begins putting them up. Dinner is already set for you, my Prince Tuskbane. I will see to it that all necessary arrangements are made. Is there anything within town that you'll need me to attend to?
So we have a few outfits that will need to be picked up by Gro'Mo in a few days. Other than that, we are good.
Of course, then, if you allow me. He begins to guide you all towards dinner.
Cool.
All right. So, are you excited to introduce us to the rest of your family, Morak?
More than anything.
Oh, I'm excited. That Gromo, like, it really like put the wind back in my sails after dealing with all that racism. Oh, I'm so excited.
I hadn't ever met a Furbolg who was from elsewhere other than a herd. I mean, like, I'd never really talked to one. It's wild that they're just walking around the city like this, and so I did my best to just, try to connect and see what other Furbolgs are into and like, and it seems like I get it. Fashion is important and meaningful. I'm gonna keep that in my mind.
No, it's an expression of your own self.
Yeah, that's what he was
Gromo
getting at. I hope I, encapsulated that okay. I know it was clumsy, but what I told him at the end there, he seemed to be all right with.
That
What
was
you
perfect.
said was poetry.
I suppose if you mean in the way that all fashion is, maybe, but I'm nothing that special with it. Thanks, though.
So, as we're walking to dinner, Artuk, you know that not every single other Furbolg outside of the Furbolgs in your horde like fashion, right?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't consider that, but it makes sense now that you say it, and I feel a little silly.
No, that's just completely fine. That's completely fine.
I mean, honestly, I'm sorry I never mentioned that I had Furbolg friends. I just assumed that you knew that there were other Furbolgs out there.
I mean, I knew there were other ones, but I kind of thought that, Furbolgs were druids, and that was the way it was. So meeting another one, I was like, oh, there's two kinds of Furbolgs. But it would make the most sense that there's just a lot of kinds of Furbolgs, like Ode just said. And like I said, I feel kind of silly for like...
I've met at least four, well, including you, 4 kinds of Furbolgs.
Yeah, that's, it makes a lot of sense. I just didn't consider it. I know it's kind of weird not to, because it's just like, it's a race like any other one, but like, I don't know. I'd only ever met Druid Furbolg, so when I met another kind, I was like, well, I must be one of them too, because I'm a Furbolg and he's a Furbolg. And so I did my best to understand what he was talking about. I'm kind of glad that I don't need to, because some of it was way over my head, but, he's an interesting fellow, that Gro'Mo.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
So anyways, let's go get to dinner.
Really, it's kind of like we're all different races because we all have different things going on in our brain.
I did
Yes.
not expect the Furbolg Tailor to be the best character I've ever picked.
When you were Goro.
Yeah, I took a little. I went to check on Ernie.
Oh, okay. You're already eating Funyuns. How'd you get this?
From Jordan.
Oh, okay.
You all are
It's just like peanut butter, just a handful of yours. Licking
Oh my
the best
fucking god.
it.
I don't think anyone's gonna want this peanut butter after this, actually, so I'll just finish the jar.
I had a letter wrong. That's why. I was like, there's a word doesn't fucking exist with this combination of letters. Okay, I have it solved. Jesus Christ.
Are you the best puppy? Yes, you are. You're the best puppy.
Out of all the puppies, you're the best one. Sorry, other puppies.
Sorry, you're the puppies.
Sorry.
You're the best puppy. That's 3 3/4 years old.
It's your birthday next month.
Named Rocket, who lives with us.
Yes.
All right, sorry we kept interrupting you, David. Just mute.
He's on the
Right.
phone.
We got a call.
Oh, look at you drooling for some popcorn. Let me go get you a napkin. What's this? Rice?
Oh God, dude, we have corn.
Ooh, you do blood.
It is the
Mm.
fattest like amount of drool, just like 1 inch dangling from his face.
No. You are such a stinky boy.
Innovation
Ugh.
born.
I got just enough letters of the cipher mixed up in my fucking thing that it really just fucked me up.
Wait. Let me look at it. Innovation born of necessity
Oh, born.
is what
Is that
The
also a...
identity
makes
supremacy.
Yeah. Supremacy? Where do you see that?
No, you said born, and I started.
Ultimatum.
innovation born of necessity is
Ah,
what
I did it again! Oh my god, the T's and the O's! I kept getting them fucked up. Oh my god, yeah, you're right. It is necessity. Oh my god. This would have been so easy if I had just done it right the fucking first time. Jesus Christ. Innovation born of necessity is what truly... Okay, so J is a U. Truly...
what in the world? Is anyone else watching Will's stream?
Separate...
Yeah, the back and like zoom in, out, and out. So you wouldn't know it, Will, but your stream focuses on wherever your pointer is. So like when you're when you're like clicking in, it zooms the screen to fill with the cells. When you're like scrolling cells, it zooms it to fill with your taskbar at the top. And when you're like mousing, hovering over everything, it shows the whole window.
That's
It's
so
awful.
weird.
It's
Hang on,
so bad.
I think I can
wild.
fix this.
Like actively painful to put your eyes on.
Here,
All
this is
right,
probably
It's very
better.
confusing to watch.
Okay, David, I like almost have it. I'm
Okay,
very
sounds
close.
good. I'm blown away, but I think that's just the difference between us. I never would have gotten there.
Oh, it separates a wizard from a magician. Innovation born of necessity is what truly separates a wizard from a
Oh.
magician.
Do not say shit.
Well, we're
Who,
already
me?
there.
I haven't read it yet. Anyway, are you all ready for dinner with the folks? Also, this is about 10 milligrams, so we're going to be on a countdown before this gets weird.
Okay.
All right. Hey, David, can you check my work, please?
Can you just type it out to me? This stream is so difficult to look at.
What, is it still? I did share my screen instead.
Just type it out.
No, it
okay.
reads out fine now, but
Okay, I just wasn't reading right. Yes, sir. Well, I'm blown away, if I'm being honest. I will discuss what that means later.
Okay, I would have gotten it way fucking sooner if it
Oh,
wasn't for the fact that fucking O and T. Like, I don't know if I'm dyslexic or some bullshit, or if I'm seeing through a mirror, but I kept mixing them up, and that was so frustrating.
What's especially funny is the Pigpen cipher did nothing. It literally
No.
means nothing for it. It just basically filled space on the paper.
Yeah, that was
Its only job was to fuck with you enough to make it harder to keep up with which was which.
Pigpen ciphers are like very aesthetically pleasing and very quick to solve.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got this idea. I got the idea from, I don't know if you guys remember it, but Eric Miko, when we were freeing Caspian towards the end of Eric's campaign, it was that. I was asking him about it. He got me the basic idea, but he couldn't find me the puzzle.
Mm.
All right. Well, we emerge, or you all emerge. Fuck it, I don't know.
From what?
From the darkness of the
Into.
puzzle.
Damn,
Wow.
that angle hit fast.
I haven't even taken it yet. But we all enter into the dining room. Before you all, you see along this very long dinner table back in the royal kind of grounds, not in the main palace as was previously established, but Morak's family home, which it would not be inaccurate to call it a manor. Maybe not dwarfed perhaps by the palace size, but certainly a manor. Certainly enough space for Morak's family and their help. On the table, you see an immaculate array of food. Mostly sea life, mostly, again, in Cathartan fashion, very much in a pickled variety, but looking immaculate. You do see, in addition to that, you see little bits of like bites that seem to be made of some kind of like crab or crustacean, just all throughout, and it looks to be a very pleasant, high quality meal. There are 5 chairs set, none for Sunny or Kezia, seven for your party as well as Miss Samtu, and actually no, sorry, there's 8. You see Ashira is still talking with Morak's mother. They've never finished up. But you see Morak's mother. You see Ashira and her just chatting. But Ashira seems genuinely It seems like Morak's mother has done the bulk of the talking, honestly. Ashira most was like, and you can see it because she just is continuing to nod. You see Dottingsworth attending to people, and you see, where is Morak's? Where is that? You gotta be fucking kidding me. One moment. Ah, there it is. Morak, your father's name is Gorsh, right?
Yes.
Son of Gorsh.
I'm son of Gorsh.
So Gorsh.
You see Morak's father
Gorsh.
seems to be in his in human terms in his late 50s with like thinning but still present hair, kind of salt and pepper, but definitely more on the gray side than on the dark side, wearing what's clearly some ornamental armor, but even then you can see like it's lacking the chainmail, it's lacking in like key areas of protection. It's more about the duty of having to wear it as a esteemed member of the clan Tuskbane. But you see him now, stood there, just kind of listening. Has a pair of like small, looks like reading glasses on as he's looking at a paper. looks up at all of you, sees Morak, takes his reading glasses off, puts them in his little case, sets the paper down. Good to see you, Morak.
Good to see you, too.
Eat dinner. Are you joining us, or?
Oh, yeah.
As you all pile in for dinner, you see just different members of the not wait staff, but kind of servants begin to kind of take your plates. Once again, this kind of seafood medley will essentially form the crux of the meal. And you notice at first, other than Morak's mother Anyway, so yeah, that was when Morax was 5, but oh my god, the team, you should have seen her. She looked so beautiful when she was wielding that axe and when she broke that other little girl's arm. Oh my goodness, she was my little Ravager, I swear. As she begins to talk about Morax's sister, Ashira just seems to be like definitely like fully listening and just like, yes, it seems like she was. Never quite getting a moment to interject, but also never really feeling the need to. But I think
I like talking to people like that.
It's easy.
Yeah, it is.
But
Mhm.
Morak, I imagine you are across from your father directly.
Yes.
You see your father just looking at you? So, how was your trip?
It's been eventful, to say the least.
I'll
Is
say,
this
oh my
is this
goodness, while you were gone, Morak, oh geez, the boys down in accounting, they really made a mess of things for the last few weeks. I've been talking about different intake. He starts going on about this. Morak, you will need to interrupt him as he talks shop about accounting work.
he'll say, Mother, is the team coming, or is she not joining us today?
Oh, she's on her way, dear. She just had to deal with a little, itsy bitsy little riot downtown for a minute. She'll be on her way though in just a little bit.
Oh, okay. Father, can I speak? Okay. So,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry. I was rambling.
no, it's good. Um,
It's just that Clarkson was really making a mess of the paperwork.
no, I just need you. I don't know how to say this. It's been a long 6 months. I know that when I left, I said like I just want to like have some adventures before I settle down with Naz and everything. Uh and I know you said that we had to move up the wedding. That's why we're here to talk. But um what I wanted to tell you was that and he Morak looks to all of his friends and you can see that he's like lip quivering a little bit. And he's just like I think we should call off the wedding. At least for a little bit. You see, about 6 months ago, when I met all these people, we had to go fight this weird zombie plant creature in the woods, and that was scary. And then we went to Holix, and then we joined a guild, and then someone fought a bear. I think I don't know. Ode and I weren't there for that one, and then we went all the way to that one island nation in the middle of it. And I think we started a civil war. There was a bunch of Imperials there. I don't know what happened there. We then left. We met Warforges. There's a bunch of Warforges still out there. They've like come back, and we found out how the weave broke at the Battle of Twin River Plains. And yeah.
Owen kind of jumps in and starts interjecting, and she'll like remind you, like, "Oh, this was the name of that city," and she'll be like, "Oh, and then Mistara confirmed that Warforges do have
Yeah,
souls."
it turns out Mistar is real, and it's not just like a weird Grumsh conspiracy. We fought a giant brain underneath the earth in an Imperial temple. It turns out the Imperials are behind the weave breaking. We can get into that later. But then after that, we had to go save Ernest from a bunch of wizard hunters in Weave's God. There's a bunch of people that hate magic uses in Harry Magi. We went all the way to Harry Magi. It doesn't take that long to get there. Apparently, we met a genie at one point. It was terrifying. He just like screwed with us. Byron, turns out he pissed off a primordial god. Turns out there's primordial gods. They're like above Grumsh. Turns out Grumsh isn't even like the high god. There's like two.
Okay, you see him slam his
dragons
fucking fork down at that one, and he's like, Morak, I raised you as a good child of Grumsh. You can go in and you can continue with the rest of the story and everything, and I will listen. But don't you ever disrespect the name of Grumsh while you're in this house. Are we clear?
Yes, I'm sorry, Father.
Now please continue.
So, needless to say, Byron over here pissed off like a primordial god thing. It's called the Dust Dragon. It's very angry at him. And during
It's
this,
also what actually broke the weave, not the Imperials, to be clear.
I will
turns
get
out
to
there's a
you
bunch of
later.
aliens. Either way, I have alien powers now. It's a whole different thing. I put my hand into a tentacle monster and it like attacked me in my brain like I saw space.
It's on the island in between this island and that
Yeah,
island.
there's been a
which
lot.
knows the name.
So then we went into the waste of where the Imperial territory used to be.
Forgot that we met an Illithid in Harry Magi.
Oh yeah, shit. So we actually killed one of the creatures, the aliens. Turns out they want to attack, like they want to like take over everything.
In the waste, we learned. Yes.
Yes, and then in the waste we met this man. He was intimately related, like in relations with the box. It was scary. Then we had to go fight another brain in the basement of the weird box pervert. We did that. We met an old Imperial officer. I really wanted to kill her. I didn't though. We can talk about that later. But then we went.
That's when we learned that the aliens want to attack our planet.
Yeah, the aliens want to attack our planet, and I think that's taking precedent over everything. So needless to say, then we went north to where did we go, Ode?
To the Forbidden Waste, and then
Yes.
Schitsburger, and then
Schitsburger. And we went to Leon, and then that's where we had to go get a boat. We went off to sea. Turns out Artug over here, he has a curse. There's a blight thing.
Primordial blight
Different
thing.
primordial blight thing. Turns out there's two of them, just like the dragons. That's where Ashira's from. There's a yin yang sort of situation.
The blight exploded out of
Yeah.
Artug.
Yeah, and then he killed Sunny. Turns out Sunny
Warforged.
Sonny was a Warforged, and now he's not. It turns out there's actually some conspiracy. I have a bunch of notes, and Morak goes into his bag of holding and pulls out like 8 books with notes everywhere. And I'm just, and then
Which Rocky Connor blasts.
yes, we had to go save him. Turns out now he's not a Warforged. He's now well, she is now just a dwarf woman. Haven't met one of those before. I thought they were just short humans. But then we went all the way to Gautera.
Gautera.
We went to Gautera. We met Ashira. Turns out we don't need to deal with his blight right now. We can wait a little bit. Now we're here. We want to ask.
They're still a problem.
The aliens are still a problem. We don't know when they're going to show up. We know where the base is. I need your help, Dad, please. And then Morak is like,
so good to talk about this.
it's just been a lot, and I don't know if I'm ready to get married because of the alien.
And all of this happened in 6 months somehow.
Yes.
That
It's
seems
been a lot. It's been a lot, Dad. I'm sorry that I wanted to go on an adventure, and I don't know if I was ready for it.
You see your dad. You see Gorsh Tuskbane. Stand up. Anyone want any appetizers?
Please.
You got yams.
And
Get
liquor.
around. We're gonna need to talk about this. So,
Did you prepare that?
That
I've
was
been
fucking
mentally.
awesome. Can we take a second to say how fucking awesome that was?
thanks for viewing that more succinctly than I ever could.
I hope you guys saw in chat where I said like I want this to be this has to be a clip and I'm gonna listen to it like 12 times.
Sorry, I jumped in.
No, I
No.
feel like it worked for its
It did.
character.
I would love to talk about.
I haven't prepared it, but I've been thinking like Morak wants to recap everything up to this point, and he's just breaking down to his dad, being
That
like, "I
was-
should have gone on adventure."
That might be my favorite Morak moment ever. That was like I was sitting here like a fucking kid on Christmas, like loving every second of that. That was so fun.
Thank you, thank you.
Sorry if you didn't mean to reveal that Sunny was a Warforged. I was just like,
I couldn't tell where I was going. I'm glad that you. I appreciate you jumping in with a few extra details.
Yeah, the
I
old
remember
the old bits helped.
Oh god.
You see, Morak's dad's body language is mimicking mine, where he's like stroking his little bits of his beard, a little mustache, kind of standing up, stretching out, and then is kind of slumping into his chair.
Pretty wild, right?
I have notes on all of it.
Yeah, there's a few other things that I left out.
Ode starts pulling out like the random pieces of trash that she writes and puts them on the table.
Pieces of cardboard and
Yeah.
napkins.
What are they, like a board game?
It's just a Monopoly board. It's the back of the Monopoly board. The pizza
That's
box.
where my copy of Monopoly went.
Oh yeah, sorry, I thought we were done playing it. And that's when we were in Schittsburger. So I went to record all the
What happened?
artifacts that were in that randomly well stocked
Yeah, we need to talk about how they have a nuke. Also,
So, if I'm understanding this right, you're getting a little bit of cold feet before the wedding. That's normal.
and other things, Father.
Yeah. I'm sorry, that was just too good.
Well, perhaps we could let you mull this over the course of dinner, and we could all come circle back to this. Would that be helpful? Oh, Frog chasing his tail.
Yeah, let's eat. Let's eat. He just starts like shoveling down food.
You just see like, if anybody looks to Morag, he's just like, we're just gonna, and then he grabs a turkey leg and just starts eating.
Yeah, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, I just
David
think
needs
it's
a minute.
no, I also think it's funny.
So, looks around at everyone else. Anyone else got anything?
No, I
Um,
think that
well,
covers most of it.
did he cover the dust dragon? Wanting to kill me. Did he cover the dawn dragon at all?
Oh, great. 2 of them.
I kind of said there were 2. Yeah, so the Dust Dragon is now actively tracking down Iron.
I used to serve him. And then I told him to suck my tiny prick, and well, here we are.
And you stole something that was very important.
Yeah,
to
he
him.
actually stole stuff.
all this.
Dottingsworth. Yes,
Oh
sir?
yeah, there's another there's a base of the aliens that's in this ocean, but we don't know where.
Yes.
Good point.
We have an idea of where.
Dottingsworth?
Yeah, we know where it
Big
is.
idea.
I wrote it down.
Specific idea, I don't actually know.
You see your father actually whisper something in Dottingsworth's ear, and for the first time it's been a while since you've seen it. You see Dottingsworth like, are you certain? Go fetch him. Morak? That was quite a lot. Now, you were saying... I don't know which one to start with, if I'm being honest.
Maybe the aliens.
The aliens are the most pressing matter. We've been calling them the mind flailers.
Because they take your mind and they go all like.
Yeah, they flail it. It's happened to me mostly.
Yeah,
it's
kind
not
of like karate.
it is kind of like karate.
They've got a connection to the dawn dragon, and Morak, I think, somewhat got a connection to him.
Okay, to explain it quickly, when we were playing Elden Ring, Will picked up 2 flails and he was using them. He says, "Dude, it's like crap."
Oh my god. Oh. So I called you here mostly to tell you the wedding was moved up and that the flame lashes are currently on their way. So that's good.
Yeah.
You see, he just keeps looking towards the door that Dottingsworth exited out of. And so, in addition to Cursed, Pissed Off the Dragon.
Dragon, god, primordial being thing.
I don't need more details. I do not need more details. It's already bad. It's already bad.
It's bad. It's pretty bad.
I feel like we could take a dragon.
I don't need. I know.
I mean, I was able to steal from him. I mean, I feel like we should probably, do enough prep. I'm going to stop talking.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be smart.
Your dad just kind of sits there, picks at his
How
food,
is how is Samtu reacting?
just kind of quiet looking. You see, I think she's a little further down, but you eventually see she kind of stands up, goes over to Morak and gives him just a little hug, and whispers into your ear, "Sweetie, it's just a lot. Give him just a few minutes to think it through. He'll be okay." And gives you just another reassuring hug, and then goes back to her seat.
Morak does one of those like sniffles.
I'll note, in the herd where I'm from, the chief really disliked it when we would just come to him with a problem, and leave it on his doorstep without any note of a solution. So I do think it's important to say that a lot of these problems that we're bringing up, we're working on, and we've got a solution to a bunch of them, actually. The Bloom and the Blight and the aliens, we have a plan. Some of the things we don't, and most of the plans we need help with, but we're on a path.
When they'll arrive?
We're moving quickly because we know it's soon, but we don't know what soon means. We just are, we're in a rush right now trying to be sooner.
We have no feasible idea.
Do you know where they'll show up?
We know where the beacon is to get here. If we can stop that, we can stop them from knowing where we are.
At this point, you guys hear a very quick, just like, knock at the door, and Dottingsworth enters in lead. And behind them, it's been probably 10-15 minutes since he departed. Morak, you see someone you very much recognize, never from maybe once in person, as you see Chieftain Sharn Tuskbane,
Whoa!
the Tuskbane clan, the head of the Tuskbane clan,
Wow.
enter into dinner. On his side, you see General Komori, once again, who is kind of at his beck and call, but utterly silent. Chieftain Sharn is dressed very much as is there. Gray orc, pronounced tusks, little bits of reading glasses. He stands tall.
Ode's jaw drops like an idol was just played at Tribal Council and Survivor.
You just see Morak like, if he could go pale, he would.
Chieftain Sharn walks into the room, sizes everything up, takes a space at the empty head of the table, as it is in all orc homes always reserved for the chieftain, sits down, and looks directly at Morak. So, it would seem you have some news. And that is where we won the session.